Hello? Am I live? I need to check it here. YouTube.com. This is my first time using YouTube for streaming, so I am extremely confused. Um, let's see if I can find myself to confirm that everything is working. Maybe it is, maybe it's not. Oh, it won't let me. Where's my internet? Oh, let's see. Live. Hey, there it is. Let's make a $5 stream. I'm live now, it says. How do I check the chat? Let's see. I'm gonna figure this out eventually. I wanna open the chat window for creators. Da 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 da. Just bear with me here for a second as I figure this out. Okay, well, meanwhile, you guys can look at this pretty pixel art that I'm working on for my upcoming $5 game. But yeah, I don't know who's out there right now because I don't have the stream up. So whoever's here, thanks for joining. Okay, we're gonna try to make a game here, but first I'm gonna have to figure this thing out. What's the stream mode? Is there stream mode? It's definitely not dashboard, I imagine. Let's see. Da 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 da. Undo changes. Ooh, I don't have a thumbnail for this. Do I have to? Let's see. This stream contains no paid promotion, no AI. Let's set some tags. Game dev. By the way, this is what it looks like on the little streamer mode. Game dev, indie dev, Godot, tutorial, even though this is not a tutorial content. Co-working, indie game dev, roguelike, pixel game. That's probably good enough. Let's see. People in blog. Save. This is what happens if you have, I don't officially have ADHD, but support, or sorry, I'm changing the description. Buy me coffee. Ko-fi. Alright, save. I'm just gonna open the YouTube.
Pros knows that your hair is...
Oh, sorry. Gotta mute that. Xerox, you're here. Okay, I can see it. There has to be a better way to do this than opening a video. Here, I'm gonna go click on Go Live button and see if that shows anything. So confusing, so confusing. Hold up, hold up. I'm getting there. Manage? Whatever, I'm just gonna open up my YouTube video or my own channel. If you're typing, I still can't see you. I'm getting there, I'm getting there. I know I've been saying this for like past 10 minutes or whatever. It's technically not 1 o'clock yet. Well, it's 1 o'clock now, so let's see. I'm gonna open this video. Muted myself. I see my face. All right. Xerox, who's in our Discord. Not Xerox. Hi, Breek. Hello, hello. I kind of wanted, if I had time, I wanted to work on my thumbnail a little bit, for this live stream, because it's kind of lame, right? We need some eye-catching thumbnail, so I kind of need to work on that too. Hey, whoa! My string software already has a little chat function. Oh my gosh! It displays chat. You know what? I don't need to have my video on or channel on. I can see it on my little Streamlabs. That's beautiful. Great. Okay. Oop, don't look at my messages. We got we got Zuzu. That's Xerox. Hello, Zuzu. All right. So I'm working on my $5 game. That's just another series, devlog series that I'm working on. I have a few things lined up. So I just thought, hey, I'm gonna work on this anyways, so might as well live stream and check out how everybody's doing. Yeah, I'll increase my audio volume. You can't hear me very well, is what you're saying? Okay, here we go. One, two, three. How's it now? Am I louder? Can you hear me? And is there a delay? That's another thing. Is there a stream delay? Break. Just let me know if the audio is not good. Okay. All right. Good. 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 Turn on your favorite lo-fi, hip hop, or whatever in the background, and just like chill with me. Um, but yeah, if you guys have any questions, obviously I'll answer at any time. And as always, I have not the answers. I just know how to find the answer. But sometimes the process looks a little goofy because I'm just like searching around. But yeah, so I wanted to make some $5 game. I know I've been going through the roguelike deck builder tutorial. Actually, the purpose of me making that tutorial is so that I can build up to making this game. And I had this idea for making roguelike deck builder that is like build your own card type of game. I know there are some previous games that are like that, but I had a different idea. So the premise right now is that you see these like little icons. So I'm thinking of using this as kind of like the node. If you remember Slay the Spire, I'm not sure if you guys are familiar with Slay the Spire. Let me see if I can search Slay the Spire real quick. Slay the Spire map. So like right here, like this part. You know how like Slay the Spire has these like mapping where you choose your path and then you fight different characters or different enemies. You can kind of see where you're going and plan it out. I kind of wanted these to be, instead of being a node, one of these things. So like this is like the farm. This is more like a militaristic camp. The royalty, forest, mountain. And then basically, instead of it being like, hey, you're just going through this different area for no reason, I wanted it to be like a story, like adventure. So, like you were born in the farm, and then you are given certain cards because you're born in the farm, or like you see some like, and this world is like filled with artifacts, right? The ancients that has died or whatever, and then these artifact gives you kind of like in anime like an isekai type of special abilities where I'm thinking Hunter x Hunter, right? Hunter x Hunter, everybody has this like Nan ability where everybody has their unique type of like application of their abilities. And then I want people to feel like a hero in a story where they can like, the whole point of the game is how uniquely and creatively can you use your ability, right? So for example, I'm thinking like, let's say you can make things sticky and then you can combine it with the cards or like abilities that you already have to make being sticky more like, for example, you could be like, oh, I'm gonna make my hand sticky, which means whenever I hit someone, they get delayed or something like that. Yeah, and My Hero Academia, that's a good example. Like all these like isekai stuff, like the problem with MMORPGs that I know, I had this discussion with people. The problem with MMORPG a lot of times is that like they try to be too real, and then you are just another person in this world as opposed to feeling like you're this isekai hero where you got dropped into this world and where you have your unique ability and you're recognized by your function. So I had this idea of like reducing the MMORPG into like 5 people MMORPG. So it's not massive, just like a multiplayer. And then I was thinking it would be fun to kind of run like D&D tabletop RPG type of game with my friends where each of us have build backgrounds independently and then cross path and then build our character or our deck based on that and then have combat, and every cycle like you're supposed to die for the next season, but then when you find the artifact, which is unique, you find it by, let's say, you train with a sword master for like 10 years, for example, and then you finally get your artifact. Like, that's how you build your background. And then you have this deck. The special cards, the artifact cards, at the end of the season, because I made the system where you can add additional functionality or remove functionality, so you everybody gets to add your unique flavor to this card. And then next season, these artifacts get spread around based on this like kind of Dwarf Fortress like generation where the card gets spread, and then you have to hunt for these cards again in the beginning of the season, where you have a new character, you go through different backgrounds and different journey to finally find this artifact. But then now it's changed from previous. So then the idea is like, okay, what if people make it super OP? Is like, nah, it doesn't matter, because it's like if you make it OP and you don't know exactly how you're going to find that card next season, so it's going to be like you're making somebody else OP if you make it too OP. But so it's like that kind of like idea that I want to bit quiet. Okay. Remington says it's too quiet. Okay. Let me see if I can up it a little bit. La 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 la. Da da da. I'm afraid to be too loud. All right. Tell me when. Tell me when. Remington. I don't know when you sent that message. I'm so sorry if I'm not paying attention to the chat. Hello. I mean, the Streamlabs says I'm about to peak. Can you hear me better? Sign into chat. I want to do that. Whoa. Whoa. Ah, okay. Can you hear me better? I don't want to like be really too loud. Good now. I had YouTube at 100% volume. Oh, let's see. Yeah. It's tricky. Audio is tricky always. Good now. I had YouTube. Blah, 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 blah. That's better. I still have everything at 100%, but it's more audible. Maybe I just need to get really close to the mic and remember not to scream at it. I'm gonna flat out increase the volume even more. I get nervous about making this volume too loud, so I'm gonna set it down to 5 decibel here. Save. Oh, wait. What happened to my... Hey, this is not the balance I had. Oh my gosh, I gotta redo this. Ah. Beacon crashed last time, and then it messed with my what do you call setup. I'm gonna have to do this. Let's see. I definitely want the attack to be fast, release to be a little bit slower. 40% is good. Attenuation. Let's make it so that it... Let's turn this on. And I want the attenuation to be between 2 decibel and 6 decibel. Yeah, we're talking about audio engineering now. 9 decibel is a little too much. Hello. 1, 2, 3. Okay, that's too much too. Okay. I think... Hello. 1, 2. This is going to get annoying, right? Real quick. Mic setup. It's peaking right there. A little bit up. Noise suppression is okay. Expender. I don't like expender too much. I'm going to... Let's see. Apologies. I feel like I should have done this before. But yeah, let's see what the chat says. Pretty loud on my part. Your game concept sounds really interesting. Small party questing kind of reminds me of co-op Diablo or other action RPGs. Yes, exactly. I mean, we're already playing D&D in a small setup anyways. And, you know, main thing about being an important character in massively multiplayer online is that you have to have not as important people in order to be a standout person. So that's what I thought. I thought it would be fun to release that so that, you know, each group, each people can have their own kind of world. And it would be so awesome if it's competitive, where you have these like fragmented world, right, where they have their own thing, and then like the best of them come to clash, and then it's like kind of like a tournament world where the worlds clash, and then So like you have this kind of special world for higher rankers or whatever. Anyways, that's just exciting for me. Um, anyways, I don't want to get too distracted because I still need to do this. If I can remember my setup, because I know for a fact it sounds pretty awful right now. Oh, that's nice. It says audio is great now, in case no one mentioned. Also, hi, thank you for the inspiring content you put out. Oh my goodness. Thank you. Thank you for saying that. I mean, that means a lot to me. Inspiring? Jeez. Like I'm really proud of the community that I'm building here. I really love you guys. You know, I don't know if you're not familiar with my story. I have been working in big tech like Amazon and Google for like 10 plus years. And in the last year's big tech layoff, I got laid off. And then I was like, you know what? Like, I'm going to try game making because I've been saying I'm going to do it because I couldn't do it during work hours because after work and then being on call, you're too tired to do anything creative. So I started and I have been getting like really great reception. So I've been encouraged to keep doing it. Of course, it's a race between my savings account and then success with my YouTube. So that's what I'm messing with right now. But I love putting out values for you guys, regardless. I wish I could do it. Did you start with Godot? Long time ago, long time ago when I first tried to do game dev, I actually did, what do you call, Unity. That's what I tried. This was like 2 years after they became public. So the effect of them being public and corporate culture hasn't hit yet. But then it was already kind of going downhill then. So when I came back after I got laid off, I was like, you know what? I'm going to try something different. I don't want to do Unreal Engine because I personally am not a fan of like Unreal Engine look. Like it's cool. It's like really real. I know you can do 2D games and all that stuff, but you know what Unreal Engine is known for that I'm not a fan of as much. So I was like, I want to do something indie because I love indie games. And then I looked at Godot because somebody told me, and coincidentally, they were releasing 4.x at that time, and then people were like raving reviews. It was like this is finally becoming a competitive game engine. So I was like, I'm gonna try it out. So I just tried it out, and coincidentally, again, 6 months later into it, Unity did their whole like, hey, we're gonna charge you developers, and per download, and that whole thing happened. And my dialogue plugin at the time just happened to come out. So a lot of people started to look into my videos of like using different plugins and stuff like that. So that kind of got me going a little bit. So a lot of luck involved here in this journey. But yeah, I have used other things like Unity. When I was younger, like in elementary school, I did use RPG Maker as well because I've always been interested in like JRPGs and stuff like that. So that is a long way to answer your question. Break. All right, let me make sure I don't miss all the comments. Audio is great. Hi there, just to say thank you a lot for the deck builder video. I can't read. Otto, is that how I say your name? Otto? Yeah, you're welcome. I hope it's beneficial. My next video, it's being edited right now. Hopefully it's still useful. It's not as like exciting as it has been in the first 2 episodes, but it's kind of important part still. So look forward to that. Bianco, thank you. Yeah, that's what I figured. Like I remember this when I was trying to start in Unity a long time ago. A lot of the tutorials, because YouTube algorithm encourages these like fast-paced content where people can get information quickly. And then the most viral videos are always like, I made games in 5 hours, or like 20 minutes to do this functionality so quick, like easiest way to do things. A lot of times the solutions they put out are these like short-term fast solutions. And I know for a fact, like when you actually implement it into your game, you need to consider a lot of different things. And I thought that was like a kind of like a missing gap. I knew it wasn't going to be good for the algorithm, but then I was like, I'm gonna trust the community. Developers wants this maybe, so I decided to do that. So that kind of paid out, I think. It's really genuine and chill. I just want to see the full process. Yes, yes, yes. That's all I care for. I mean, I just want to put it out there for anyone to chill with me, maybe work with me, you know? It doesn't have to be a tutorial. I call it tutorial, but the intention was more like, hey, this is not about making this specific game. It's more about, you know, relaxing, not panicking when you don't know the answer, just kind of general software process. Okay, I love chatting, but I really got to get this audio set up. So let me see real quick. I'm gonna switch mode real quick. I think I add band here at bass. We're gonna do. Okay, I'm gonna sound silly there. I want some sort of drop off at about 120 frequency, if I recall. And then I'm going to do this, and then a little bit of gain. Doesn't do anything. Okay, well, I'll just do this. I'll bump it up slightly like that, so that cross happens around 120. And then I want a slight dip in mid. People joining me being like, I thought you were making game. Why are you doing audio engineering? Hey, this is part of it. I need to do this so that you guys can hear. Let's do a dip at around slightly less than 1,000 frequency. So I want this, and I want this to peak at about 2,000. I think that's about 3 decibel. Yeah, I think that's probably good. And then I need a really narrow deep, really narrow dip on, I think, slightly over 3,000, I think. So that's like 3,100 about, I want to say. And then let's drop that a little less than 3, I think. And then I'll do another one, because I have high sibilance. That's those sounds. I tend to do high sibilance. I'm going to do some between 5,000 and 6,000, maybe. A little narrow peak, so higher Q. A little bit wide. And let's drop that about 6 decibel wide. And then, of course, for clarity, I need to do a little ceiling here. Like so. I think it should go about 4 decibel. All right. I'm gonna check the chat now. If you're telling me right now, yelling at me saying that it sounds awful, I'll know. Did you start with Godot? I'm looking for, yeah, it's really genuine chill. Yep, I'll see if I can do some work on my game before going to bed. Yes, get that game going. Audio sounds wonderful. Audio sounds great. Perfect. Well, little secret that I'm struggling through right now. I'm about to like drip nose snot right now, so I'm gonna step away real quick. I'll be back. All right, I'm back. Sorry. That was probably gross to say, but you know, nature. I got to do what I got to do. Let's see. Also, audio Zephyr looks better than what OBS standard has. Over there, the talk volume is yellow peak and too quiet green, which was always bothered me. Yeah, so I'm using this mic. It's a beacon mic, and it comes with the software, like the driver software where you can do this. So it's really nice. The functionality is really nice. The only problem is that it doesn't, sometimes when I turn off my computer, it wipes everything out. So I go between live and flat. So when I'm doing recording, I do flat. And when I do this type of like video call, I do live. But it basically, whenever I save it and choose it, it saves it onto on device. So like for example, if I did a session with flat and then I turn off the computer and it doesn't save for some sort of like error reasons, it wipes the record. So hopefully that's just me. I have studio head monitors. The sound is pretty good. I can hear your PC cooler or something. I have AC on. Like I usually would have turned it off, but it is too hot right now. I hope y'all are staying safe and heat free in this heat wave, especially in US right now. We're going through it. Even though I'm in Seattle, which is like usually temperate, like we're at the 80s and 90s. Let's see. Sorry, I can't. I'm like doing this. My second monitor is really far, so I can't see the name. Just a second. Oh, okay. By Ankimayan? Ankimayan? Ham, casual 112 Fahrenheit here right now. Yep, casual, very casual. Yeah, stay inside, pump the AC. I heard Texas right now is crazy. Like, part of Texas has not had power in a while, and your governors are like over in Korea, I hear, just chilling. Anshi. Oh, I see. Anshi. Okay. Hello, Anshi. Thank you for joining. I'm actually surprised how many people are here chatting with me. I thought I was going to be talking to myself for like next 4 hours, but I've been chatting, having fun chatting that I haven't even gotten started on my game so far. Check back on the live stream or recording of it. I talked about my game idea. So what I'm trying to do here is I'm going to use this as an icon and then going to make some little map. So let's make my $5 roguelike, small multiplayer, all the keywords, hopefully moneymaker. Nah, just kidding, $5. So let's see. Let's call this a true or $5 isekai. Or is that how you spell isekai? Here, let me search that real quick. Where's my... there it is. Isekai. Isekai with A. Okay, isekai. All right, here we go. And then I'm going to hide this part because I don't want you guys to know my folder structure. Go to project. Create new folder. $5 isekai. All right, select. Cool. Even though I trust most of you guys, I am putting this out into the ether. How long? I'm going to stay here till 5 p.m. here. It's 1:20 here, so that is 4 hours. Another 3 hours and 3.5 hours left, I think. Yeah, 3.5 hours. Whoa! Wow, Jonas, you are amazing. Thanks for the support. $50. Wait, no, what is that? I don't know what that is. I don't know the whole thing, but thanks for the support. I mean, I appreciate any support here. This is my full time. I'm living on hopes and dreams here, and all of this has been super encouraging. Jonas, is that how you say it? You have been amazing with Ko-Fi support. I love that. Thank you so much. This is my first live stream support. I didn't even expect this. Look at me stuttering, and look at this advertisement. I am not sponsored by that, so CZK. Yeah, I don't know what that is, but it's okay. Anything helps, obviously. How long stream will be? Anshi is fine. I'm also in Pacific Northwest, Seattle a bit. I see. Yeah, I'm in Seattle proper right now, because this is where I was working. Not good for living. Oh, what was a sound effect? Oh, wait. Apparently, I have donation alert set up. I didn't even know. I did stream it on Twitch a little bit. I didn't like it. Twitch feels weird to me. And then the people that I'm competing with, like the actual like really popular ones, get a lot more view than most. Anyways, let's actually get to the game. So this is going to be even more raw than my tutorial. My tutorial, I'll have you know, like for example, the first one that was about 2 hours long, right? That it was 10-hour long footage that I boiled it down to 2 hours. There are a lot of like, let me sit, let me cough, and all those things. So just have you know, this full 4-hour stream might not be entirely, what do you call, productive. But it's okay. I like having this community. Thanks for joining once again. Let's see. So I'm going to make a 2D scene. I'm just going to call this main to start. It's going to be my main game. Organization, be damned. I'm not going to worry about that right now. I'll eventually move things around. So main thing that I wanted to explore is, I think I mentioned the map thing. So I want to do the line and map thing. So for example, if I have a sprite, and then I should probably create a folder called, let's call this, I don't want to do asset. I wanted to try a new organizational structure where it's like grouped by its function. So all the scene code and asset is in the same folder. So this one's going to be, I think, map location, or maybe I should do map. And then within the map, I'm going to have a folder called location. Hopefully that's not too deep of a thing. And then I'll bring my asset, which I will go and grab. I've been saving it in my pixel art folder, I think. You know what I hate? I don't know if you guys are struggling with this too. The OneDrive, Microsoft OneDrive. They keep copying and then like having a presence in the directory. And every time I save into documents, sometimes it's the OneDrive document versus regular document. And they have like the same structure or similar structure. So I save onto one. So I can't find them. It's like exactly same name here and there. Sometimes it's like all split around. And I haven't taken the time to like actually explore that. So it's annoying. OneDrive. I think it's under OneDrive for me. Maybe that's not where it is. Let me see where I saved it. Under new folder, pixel work, documents, Ezra H. Okay. Ezra H. Documents. Pixel work. New folder. Yes. Okay. I'm going to copy these all. Copy. And then I'll put this on my project folder. Whatever. I give up trying to hide my stuff. Please don't hack me. $5 isekai. Location. Paste. All right, cool. Okay, close this out. So I have all these sprites, but yeah, as I was saying, farm. We got the farm here. Ooh, I gotta change the default setting. Filter. Maybe it's under render. Linear will be nearest for pixel. Yeah. So for example, if I have like a farm here, I want some sort of like line. Is it? I never used line before. And I'm going to use the line to probably like draw something like that. Right. And then have another sprite. That's like military or something like that. And then it'll be like this. And then you get to choose, do a little different things. So I want to do an exploration. So I want to also make this line look prettier. If I remember, I think there's a way to use texture as the fill instead of the like solid line. So let me try that. I think I've seen that before. Let's do 8 by 8. And then edit palette, or not edit palette. I'm gonna load my palette for this game that I'm using. It's Godot project. $5. Oh, $5 Maze is another one that's coming up. I'm working with someone for that one. A lot of spoilers here. I'm sorry. Or, I don't know. Maybe it's just hype. Maybe it's not a spoiler, but a trailer. Yeah? That's a good way to think about it. Wait. Huh. I guess that's not where the palette is. Where's my palette? Who's calling me? I'm not interested in picking this phone number. You guys are not calling me, right? Is there a way to like call me through the stream? Probably not. I'm being paranoid. All right. Pixel art. I have a I have a palette. Ah, there it is. Blue Fantasy? Is that it? I think this might be it, actually. Yes, it is. Cool. I should probably copy that asset over too, actually. Let me do that. All right, let me check on the comments. What has happened so far? Really prefer that file structure as well, Connor. Great. Otherwise, you're jumping around a ton, and Godot File Explorer is a bit clunky. Yes, yes. If you guys are ever working on Godot for a long time and then working on expansions, or not expansion, what do you call that? Plugin? Please work on making some better file system, maybe. OneDrive. Yes, channel name. I hate OneDrive. I turn it off, but damage is already done. Because when it was automatically on, it split the folders. And then now I turned it off so that it doesn't automatically update, but it's still there. But I'm afraid to delete it or like get rid of it because I have stuff in there. It's all kinds of headache. Do you know you can change color of the Godot folder structure? No, I don't know that, Anton. Can you like tell me about it? And then I'll read it and change it. Anyways. How many viewers do I have? How do I check how many viewers I have without like doing it? Not that it matters. Not that it matters. It's not about the performance. It's about the value. And everybody in the chat has been wonderful. So watch me backtrack on all this. All right. Documents. Pixel, I think. Pixel work. Oh, sorry. Oh, maybe I don't want to show everything. This PCC. Documents, pixel, palette. Yes. We're going to copy this and then put it in Godot project. $5 Isekai. And then I'll put the palette on the parent folder. So I can easily access it. Anyways, so ultimately what I wanted to do, a long way to do one of these. Bop. Now, should I do this? I'm afraid it's going to look bad, but we'll see. I'm going to save this. Ugh, going back and forth in the project folders are so inconvenient. Map, location, and we're going to have this map line. Export map line. Yep. All right. Let's see if I can change this. I never used this before. That's why I'm testing this out real quick. Texture mode. Tile? Stretch? Tile. Weird. What's happening here? There has to be a better way to do this. Let's see. No gradient. Capping. Joint. Bevel. Round. Sharp. Border. They're closed? No, it's not a closed. This defines the When you do texture, does the width matter? Or is it fixed? 32. Oh, it's not fixed. I would say width is probably size of the sprite, right? It should be 8. Shouldn't it? To follow the original. OBS show viewers? Oh, 20 viewers. Yeah. Okay. Hello, hello. Oh my gosh. Okay, this is kind of important call. Just a second. I'm going to mute myself. Hopefully you didn't hear any of that. Very private conversation. Let's see. What do we have here? Simple as okay. Let me do this first. Right click on the folder, select folder color. Oh, okay. Let me see. Right click on the folder. Ooh. Okay. Okay. I mean, this could be very helpful. Good to know. Good to know. Let's see. Map is giving teal to me. So I'm going to set it to teal. I just saw this live before I had to leave and I'm making people wait. Haha. Oh. Thank you, Bardo, for making people wait to watch this. You know, it's not always informative. I think, you know, I'm getting to understand that live session is less informative than recorded session. Or maybe it's because it's my first time. I'm just getting excited to talk to everyone. Okay, let's see. Blanco says, can't see the property panel. The chat is on the way. Oh. Okay. Yeah. Let me move the chat. Is this better? Eventually, I'm going to have to move my face too because you won't be able to see some of the bottom ones. Sorry, Blanco. All right, what else? Hello, Bruno. Lip readers went crazy. Yeah. Hopefully they didn't get the part where I said, I love you to my partner. Is it your first stream? Yes, this is my first stream on YouTube. I've streamed a little bit on Twitch before, and it was too much. I got overwhelmed. I did a few times. It was fun. Like I had a conversation with people as well. And as you can see, like talking on stream is not a problem for me. But yeah. It's at the time it was a lot more tiring because I'm like, oh, I gotta look this way. I gotta like be on point. I can't pick my nose, you know, that kind of stuff. But now I'm like, whatever. I'm gonna pick my nose if I need to. You guys can put pick. Maybe that could be an emote. Which reminds me, I don't know. This is not an official announcement or anything. Maybe some of you guys noticed, but I have this on my Discord. I announced something. I'm making a membership. And I created these 4 emotes. We got the super bug, sip coffee, because I noticed that I sip a lot. We got Godot-chan and a bug. If you have any emote idea, let me know so I can try and create them. But basically, I'm trying to start membership. And I don't have that much benefit. I'm trying so hard to pump out contents right now. I recorded a bunch, and I'm editing them right now so that I can do like early releases for the members. But obviously, I still want all the contents to be free. So there's some delay stuff. Let's see. White theme Discord. Yes. I'm a boomer like that sometimes. I do like dark theme, but I don't know. It's like, you know, it's nice on the eyes. I have a very bad dark vision too, so I went back to listen to the premise of the game for those interested, around 6 minutes into the stream. Yes, around 6 minutes into the stream, I talk about the premise of this game idea that I'm working on. Let me know how you feel. It's 11 p.m. in my country. I just lost my eyes. Sorry, Break. I'm not liable for that damage. You should have known. Look at my setup. Like, let me show you my YouTube. Bam. All white. Dark mode, not here. Though my VS Code is dark mode. No. No. Yes. Oh my eyes! I just joined stream in like 3 of here. Oh my gosh! What? A lot of late night workers here. I guess that makes sense. As game devs, we get used to being a night owl, but I have to say, good night's sleep does help with like being creative and all that. But anyways, I really need to figure this out. I can't be chatting. So I saw somewhere if I do texture, you can use texture as line. I use tile mode, but it's not working. I wonder if it has to do with the length. No. It's clearly stretching out the end part. Oh, maybe it's because I didn't define the width. So it's just like repeating the 1 pixel at the end. So let me see if I can change the... But that makes no sense. You should know what the texture size is. Border? Maybe it is border. What happens if I increase it? Sharp limit. Nope. Transform. Position. Join mode. Okay. This is where internet is helpful. I'm just going to find how to use texture line in Godot. AI, I don't trust AI. I have an opinion on AI. I don't believe in companies that use this LLM or large language model. Yeah, large language model to complete features that's anything other than autocorrect type of thing. But anyways, I digress. Line, texture, this node, 2D polyline. So I can do texture node, yes. Texture tile, canvas item, repeat. Oh, node must be texture repeat enabled. Okay, let me see. Repeat. Enabled. Magic. Look at us. I kind of don't like how sharp the corners are. Now it starts to make sense. Maybe that's what it means. Ah, now it's like smoothish. Yeah, okay. That's not too bad. Look at that. Kind of want there to be a gap between the pixels though. Oh, bye Bardo. Thanks for joining. Thanks for supporting. Let's see. Bianco, my eyes, I love your workflow and the way you approach the problems you encounter. We'll watch the entire stream later, Bruno. Okay, thank you. Hopefully it just automatically posts my live stream onto the YouTube and I don't have to do any extra work. I love to burn my retinas, Jackie. Yes, we all do, I think maybe that's what it is. Maybe I used non-dark mode for too long that my retina is permanently damaged, so dark mode is too dark for me. In Italy is 22:42. That is, I know how to do math. 10:42 p.m. in Italy. I see. Late night, but it's not too late. Still you got some, here in Seattle, actually you get sun till like 9 p.m. So, with Seattle standards, sun hasn't set for that long. So it's, it's still early night for you guys. I like the idea is touching on popular game design principles. So cool to see you cover it. Thank you. I'm excited to make that work. I mean, I get really pumped every time I talk about it with my friends. Sushi Boss says, yes. Not sure what that was for. Bardo says, okay, Sally, I have to leave. Yes, I already answered. Goodbye, Bardo. See you later. Witchcraft, yes, about the pixel line. 9 p.m. sun, yes. Seattle, you get sun till 9 p.m. at this time of the year. But yeah, border. Can I make this bigger? What does border do? You know what? When you don't know, right click and open document. Determines the miter limit of the polyline. Okay, I don't know what that means. Normally when joint mode is set to line joint sharp, sharp angles fall back to using the logic of line joint bevel. Yeah, a lot of stuff. Sharper angle. Okay, that was a bunch of nothing to me. I'm just gonna mess with some numbers and see if it does anything interesting. Nope. End cap mode. Don't need that. Joint mode is... What does bevel do? Oh, I like bevel. I like bevel. It flats out the corners like this if it needs to. Okay. Transform. I don't know how to create a gap. So what I'm going to do is actually make a manual gap by making the pixel have the gap. Boom. Yo. Yo. Look at that. Beautiful. Does that look legit? Yeah, I think so. Miter is the joint angle point. Joint/angle point. I see. So if we read that again, sharp limit. Determines the miter limit. So the joint angle point limit of the polyline. Normally when joint mode is set to sharp, sharp angles fall back to using the logic of bevel. When? Joints to prevent a very long miter, very long joint point. Higher values of this property means that the fallback to bevel joint will happen at a sharper angle. Okay, so it's like this angle versus this angle. If a lot of the times when it's like this, if there was no limit for sharp angle, it'll always be a sharp angle, right? Kind of like this right here. Oh, we are using bevel. So if I do sharp, you can see how sharp these things are. Like that. But if I do a sharp limit, if I increase the sharp limit, let's say 180. Did that do anything? No? 300? What's the limit? I don't know what the value is actually. 0? Ah! At 0, it starts to bevel because we're making the limit be... I'm guessing it's a... value? What's the value? Like, what's the what's the meaning of the value? Like, what's the scale? Oh, it's between... Oh, no. Default is 2. At 0, it made it completely bevel. Whatever. That's what it means. Higher it is, it's going to sharp more likely. Some math stuff. So if I use bevel, it's like having a sharp limit of 0. I don't like this, though. Maybe I do sharp with a little bit of bevel. Maybe 1? Yeah, let's do that. Maybe 1.5. There you go. Still looks kind of pixelated. This doesn't look good. Why is it doing that? Will it do that if I do bevel? Nope. Round? No. Well, I mean, look. I'm going to have to work with what we got here. Okay. I'm going to go blow my nose again because I feel the moisture. I'm back. All right, so far I have been just chatting away. Now we're going to actually get some work done. Let's see. So we got the line. I want to be able to select this. And I want the window to come up. So let's see. The first thing I want to do... I do it based on user experience that I want. So I want... to have choice. I want to have a choice between these different landscapes. So we got, let's make a little node. And then this will be some sort of location. Location, should I call it location? I want something more descriptive because it's going to be those like nodes on the map that you can select between. So it's going to be map node. See, node is overused in this, what do you call, engine, but let's make a map node. I think I like that. I'll do map node. And map node is going to have some sort of sprite that represents its thing, and then probably have a bunch of other stuff. And I'm going to create and attach a script called map node under map location. Maybe location should be named node. All right, so we have 2D node here, map node. Eventually I'm going to do save branch and save it as map node, but I need to figure out what I need with that first. Oh, see, this is what happens. So what happened here is that I moved sprite out on the main, created the map node, which is at 0, 0, and then I drag and dropped. Because the engine is trying to be like, oh, hey, you actually wanted the sprite to be over here, so I'm not gonna just like snap it to the 0, 0. That wouldn't make sense. So it graciously transforms it over. So, or maybe it was just that value is going to be relative. So I have to make sure I zero it out. And I wanted to, I'm trying to see if there's a benefit from going bottom to up versus left to right or top to bottom in terms of adventure. I can't make an argument for either or, so I'm just going to do left to right for now. So let's say I have a bunch of map nodes, right? We're going to have map node 2. We're going to have, oops, map node 3. Oops, not inside, but outside. All right. There you go. Okay. And then this sprite, the second one's going to have, I'm going to get rid of this real quick. Second one's going to be, let's say, forest. Or, jeez. Sprite, forest. And then the third one's going to be, let's say, a royal castle. And so you have these choices. So first thing I want to be able to do is choose between them. Now, if we're thinking about console, it's going to have to flip between the choices. And if I use keyboard, I want to be able to flip between the choices. But most simple implementation is having a mouse and then being able to click it. So I guess this can be some sort of button. So I know when we were doing the card implementation, we were talking about a lot of like, we were talking about doing a lot of like area 2D click so that the overlap, blah, blah, blah. Obviously the pressing, like the clicking action is already handled by the button, right? And then especially the texture button. If I show you texture button, like this thing already has ways for you to, if I click on it, ways for you to have normal status, press status, hover status, disable, so that it handles, like you can, depending on the mode of the button, it changes sprite automatically without having you go through like either using animated sprite or change sprite texture based on the status of the button. So it kind of really simplifies it. Reason I'm reluctant to using texture button over like actually implementing it is always like, okay, well, what kind of underlying implementation does it have that I don't need? Because obviously, whenever you use generic solutions like this, you are loading up a lot of the unintended and unused code that will be there. And especially because I didn't build a texture button myself, I don't know how much of it I can trust or not. That's my logic, but, you know, I think I'm thinking a little too much. So I'm going to just use the texture button, okay? For now. Now, let me see. One thing that I'm thinking about is, do I want the texture button to be the child of the node, or should the node, the map node itself, is the button? So that's the question I'm asking. And at this point, I'm going to check the chat again. I'm guessing I don't have to say I'm going to check the chat every time I check the chat. Miter, pint of interest. Point of interest. Yes, point of interest. Ooh, I love that. Instead of map node. POIs? Yes, that's the MMORPG term. ABD... Abdotic? ABDotic? Hi guys, how are you? Hi. Where are the part 3 of make card game? It's here. I'm editing it. It's gonna come out. I think it's gonna come out next week. If all goes well. I went through the first round of it. I'm sorry. It's not gonna be as exciting as the previous one, but it's a necessary part of the pain. We're starting on the deck. And I got to record 4th episode soon. And promise is here. I can show you a little bit of it, I think. Oh, how about this? A little teaser. Yeah. Am I doing myself a disservice by giving a teaser? Maybe, maybe not. It's a special privilege for joining me on my random live session. Here it is. Okay. Episode 3 of Making Roguelike Deck Builder. Tutorial number 3, here we go. Oh, Abdo and Tick. I recently put up a vote on YouTube seeing if anybody's interested in maybe a different length of tutorials, since 2 hours seem to be a little bit too long. Yes, do I have a main project? My first project is my main project, but then I'm building up to it, basically. I'm working on these like small projects and releasing tutorials that will eventually be used on my main project, so that by the time I get to the main project, I have all the building blocks. And I know algorithm doesn't really enjoy that as much, so I was wondering like, oh, is everybody okay? And it seems like a lot of you guys have answers saying that, well, we don't mind if it is shorter or longer, as long as it's the same quality.
Recursive
so
Ezra here.
I'm gonna try
Xerox.
it. I'm gonna go ahead and try that and see
Gabriel,
if it works. If it
you're
doesn't,
welcome.
just let me know.
I really
and
enjoy
I'll go back
making the thing.
to
Okay, I'm talking over myself, which is so annoying. Can you stop talking, Ezra? All right. Ezraception, Bianco. Yes. Are you editing video yourself? I am. I do the cuts myself. So, but then I have an editor. I started using an editor, but like giving them 10-hour worth of video and telling them to cut it without any context of like what is important is very difficult. So I do the cuts where I say, these are the cuts we do. So I put them together and then I give it to them. And then the editors a lot of times focus on these visual effects mostly. I only started using the editor person starting, let me see. Which video? It's a very recent thing. I did it because ultimately I was taking way too much time between videos. I was like releasing once every month or two. So for example, oh, maybe studio is not, I don't want to show you this, do I? Could be private. Whoopsies. Anyways, I started using the editor for this video. This is where I started using them. Everything before that, all this, I edited myself, which I really enjoy doing, but I was a little too obsessive. And as a consequence, I just closed my own video that I was trying to show you guys. You know what? I'm gonna play this out and then answer the chat afterwards. Sorry. Of tutorials, since 2 hours seem to be a little bit too long, and I know algorithm doesn't really enjoy that as much. So I was wondering like, oh, is everybody okay? And it seems like a lot of you guys have answers saying that, well, we don't mind if it is shorter or longer as long as it's the same quality. So I'm going to try it. I'm going to go ahead and try that and see if it works. If it doesn't, just let me know, and I'll go back to whatever it was before. So what is today? I'm going to make a deck, a structure that exists in computer science or like programming, right? The stack is a deck, because deck is a card that's just on top of each other, and then when you want to access the card, you take it from the top one at a time, and that is what's called a stack. Now obviously we can go back to the whole like, oh, what does it mean in the stack array, or using a stack-like structure. Doesn't matter. We're not really getting into the fundamentals of data structure, because this is not a data structure and algorithm tutorial. If you want that, I'm sure there's plenty of other great resources. If you want me explaining it, maybe put it down on the comments. But we're assuming we know what we mean when I say deck, and I'm assuming that. But actually, there are two types of decks that we need to worry about that mean two different things. So for example, like the traditional playing card deck where you play out of, where you draw from the top, is a deck, yes. But when a player is playing a game and then they're talking about a deck, they actually mean a
I was
bucket
showing
of collection
them
of cards, right? Just for example, take
a little
Magic the
teaser.
Gathering. When you're building
Oh my
a
gosh.
deck, you're
Alright,
not really
whatever. We're good. Jeez, the bro is watching himself because somebody asked. Anyways, that's fine. That's enough teaser. Let's see. Okay, Sally, I have to leave. No, I went too far in the chat. If you're worried about unintended behavior with the button, it might be better for the button to be a child, then you can only connect what you need. Yep. I think that's what I want to do. I just wasn't sure if the button functionality will translate through the scene tree. Abdo and Tick. Watching Ezra with Ezra. Yeah. We talked about Ezraception. Yes, you're right. Thank you very much. Do you have your own course? Do I have my own course? Ebdo and Tick, I don't know what you mean by my own course. Like, do I teach a course privately? And answer is no. I want to put out everything I do publicly. And if you have, so I have been doing something I mentioned in other videos. A lot of people actually ask questions on my comments. And what I have been doing is like, hey, I'm trying to answer, but if I can't get through the message clearly, I invite you to my video call and then we talk about it on video. I think from now on, I think that should be reserved for like live session where we talk about solutions and stuff like that live. So I think that's what I want to do. And obviously, if you really need the help and you want to do it privately, I'm open for that. Maybe that could be a member benefit. Yeah, I don't know. Don't fight the algorithm, Chris. Yes, I think I decided that I'm not going to fight the algorithm as much as I want. I still want value. I don't want to be like one of those content YouTuber where it's just like working for the algorithm only, because personally I want to create real value while satisfying the algorithm. So I'm trying to find the right balance between. Paul G, here you go. I don't know what is that? Is that money? Yes! Thank you for the money. I love getting cash emoji. Pays for my bills. MTG. Love MTG. Haven't played it in a while, but I just created a deck, and it's a control deck. I know. Like Udemy courses. No, I don't. I don't have that. I don't feel like I am good enough to have courses like that. As much as I've experienced, I have not actually made like, what do you call courses? What is it called when you have like schedule for teaching? See, I don't even know. And then like professors give out at the beginning of the year saying that this is the plan for the lesson. Oh my gosh, it's been that long. I love to chat, but I don't do Godot. Aw. Zuzu, I think that was Zuzu. Come over to Godot. It's wonderful here. No, it's okay. No judgment here. You do you, but we are a great game dev community. Eventually, the concepts are the same. Frosty says, do you have a streaming schedule? Because I can't watch this one, but you're one of the people I really want to follow. All right.
Not yet, but I'm going to work on it, and I'll give you more of a heads up for the live schedule when I'm about to go up, so that you can expect it more. It's not the roadmap. It's like schedule agenda. No, it's not agenda. Gosh, here. This is what AI is useful for. What is the word for a lesson plan that's given out at the beginning of the year? Come on, AI. Wow, Google decided that this is not a question for AI. Oh, well. Did you ever release a game? Full game? You know what? Technically, yes. But realistically, no. The reason I say technically is because I'm actually on IMDb, guys. My name is on IMDb. Did you know that? Let's see. I'm going to find it. And then I'll explain why this is technically a game. Hold on. I swear I'm on IMDb. Just a second. IMDb. Aha! There you are. Here's my IMDb profile. Here's a game called Starfinder. And we worked with Nathan Fillion, Laura Bailey, you know. Basically, this was when I was in Amazon. It was a Alexa game. So Alexa being the voice assistant game. And then basically it's like a choose your adventure with the voice assistant. And we had a full on audio. And I built I was the sole technical engineer for a long time. And then we had some engineers at it. I was the lead. So our team was responsible for basically experimenting with what it means to make games on Alexa. And I was building this dialogue manager, right, to help people easily create games on Alexa. And we were testing it. So that's why I made it. It actually did pretty well. Only reason it failed is because of the typical corporate reason. Product was good. It was one of the most popular and well rated and reviewed experience on Alexa skills, they call it. But then the leadership wanted to go to not that route. Like they wanted to do something more where they can expand faster, right? Because the problem with this game, making game, is that you have to create assets, you have to create experiences. You cannot scale it to make more of it, a lot more to make money scalably. So what you want to do is that you want to get it out to developer teams outside to use your tools and experience to make games fast. And so you're not risking your own company money, but to create the experience, you're just creating the platform for it, which I hate, by the way, because I'm focused on the experience. So yeah, that was a syllabus. Yes, Frosty, syllabus. That's the word. That's the word. Oh, sorry for being so loud. Yes, syllabus is the word. But yeah, so technically, I have released it. I worked on the game. I worked on with the writer, voice actors, game engine. But technically, I made my own game engine to make it work. Some network back and forth. A little bit of different skill set than using game engine to create game. But in terms of going through the full cycle of play testing and marketing, working with talents and working with a team, I have done game making in that sense. In fact, a lot of the engineers I worked with were, I had one senior engineer that I worked with who was a senior engineer with Bungie, making, what is that? This game right here. What is this one? I forgot the game's name. Oh my gosh. One of the, was it? No. I forgot what the game was. Something 2. See? Whatever. You guys know, I'm sure. And then another one that worked in AGS, which is Amazon Games team. Destiny. Engineer that worked on Destiny. That's why I have the Destiny's dev signed box right there. Can you see it? Hold on. Can you see that right there? Yes, you can. Right there. Oh, And then, of course, I have the poster down here for my Starfinder developers, signed by all those people. Let's see. Udemy. I like to chat. Do you have streaming schedule? No, I'm working on it. I really want to have streaming schedule. Plus members only streaming schedule as I release membership soon. Did you ever release a game? I answer that. Have you ever worked with a team? Yes, a lot of teams. I'm also, my next $5 game that I'm recording right now, not this one, the other one, the Maze game, I'm working with a team. Software engineering team, a lot, because I did 10 plus years of it, Amazon and Google, across different sides. If you make a streaming plan, post it on community. I will. Aha, syllabus. Yes, syllabus. By the way, I'm a beginner Godot dev. I found you from one of your tutorial. You're pretty good at explaining stuff. Thank you. I'm glad. Sometimes I kind of wonder because I know I skip over a lot of the basic programming stuff where I don't really explain why things are the way they are. Just like basic concepts here and there. Sometimes I explain. So like it's kind of confusing because sometimes most developers know some concepts, like what hashing means, how maps work, dictionary works. So like one of the videos I'm working on right now, I explain actually like why I don't like certain function, how I implement a certain function, because it's like it uses the hash that is the address of the, what do you call, the memory address of the object. And then if you're making a copy, you're making a copy of the memory address so that you cannot uniquely identify the object, blah, 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 those things. But I'm like that's a programmatic concept that people might know, but then sometimes like, is it too much? Let's see. By the way, I'm a beginner. That's better, honestly. I get bored watching the same stuff over and over again. Yeah. And I mean, it's exciting. Sometimes I like to think that I'm introducing some ideas, like programming ideas that people have not thought about. And then maybe if I don't explain it fully, but say some keywords, that you have an opportunity to search it yourself. And there are many wonderful resources. And of course, I always open up the question to say, if you don't understand what I'm saying, don't be afraid to ask me, because I love explaining things in different ways. Abdoantic says, what do you say, which is better, Godot or Unity? I am not talking about comparisons, only about your experience if you have used it before. So far, I mean, granted, my Unity experience was limited to like game jams and like beginner experience, and so is Godot. I mean, I only started using Godot like February last year. So it hasn't been that long. So far, I prefer Godot. Unity is great, by the way. When I use it for game jams, like their asset library, because community, before Unity went public, they had a huge indie community. And so like this asset library and purchase stores are so full of great resources. So it's easy to make like jam games using assets that are available, and then like some of these plugins and functionalities. But Godot is now comparable since the 4.x, and they're continuously developing. So it's great. And in terms of documentation, I personally like Godot documentation more. It feels more full. Unity, it had a moment, but as they went into this like public thing, they have less time for documentation, I think. That's the feeling I'm getting. So sometimes you're lost a lot, and then you really rely on this type of like tutorial by the online community, which doesn't always answer your question. Frosty says, if you don't know how something works, you can just search for that. Yep, exactly. Stick XD DX says, does it really matter what programming language to develop games? Like, is there a very big difference between coding in GDScript versus C++? In the modern world, no, I don't think so. Not as much. However, there is a difference. I cannot ignore that. Reason I stick with GDScript, even though I know C#, C++, Java, all those languages, I don't use that. I try to stick with GDScript, even in developing plugin, because I'm being a little bit stubborn.
But the idea is more I use GDScript because it's a open source community and people are always developing. And I see performance issues or like features that are missing in the GDScript, I can file that. And then people will develop functionalities to fix it. So I think that's what I believe in. Yeah, there will be a difference fundamentally because C++ is closer to the machine language, meaning it's more memory efficient. A lot of the scripting languages, they do interpretation, right? So instead of, you get the code, right? Traditionally, compiling code is you get the code that is in human language, and then during the compile time gets converted into machine code, and then the machine code is executed. Scripting language a lot of times are interpretive language, especially JavaScript, where it reads the string and then it interprets live what that means and then executes it. So then there's like extra layer of execution. That's why it's slower. For games that are being published, though, that is not just like live, like a web experience, I believe, I haven't looked into this. Somebody look into this maybe. I don't think it is interpretive live like that, but rather compiled. So I do that with my, what do you call it, dialog plugin. So if you look at my dialog plugin that I created, I have a lot of stuff. There it is. It's okay. I understand you fully fine. So like I created this thing, and then obviously the whole point is that you have this thing where you write some code, right? This is a script with some commands, and I interpret it. Now, the way I interpret it is actually when it's saved, I extract a JSON format by already parsing it out. So I'm not reading line by line. And then the command is executed during the runtime. And so this is an example of interpretive language. During the runtime, if you look at the implementation of this dialog plugin, I believe the parser is somewhere in here. It's been a while since I worked on this. Maybe it's under node. Command? No. Ah, reader. Okay. And then this will go into... here it is. So it processes command. So this, when it's saved, this is interpreted as prompt command, text okay never mind, move to, and, right? It's like a two different line. It's a prompt command. Within the prompt command, you have a child command called move to end. And during the interpretation, this is during the game runtime, that JSON is loaded. Now you have already parsed command lines. And a command is grabbed. It'll see, oh, this is a prompt command. And then do some determinate action. And you can see the execution of the command, the scripting language, is in the coding language, not the machine language. That's why you do this. So we're using extra layers. So you have the machine code that is like bits, right? And then the machine code is interpreted by the assembly. And then assembly is converted, transpiled by C language. And then you have a C language that's read by GDScript. And then you have the GDScript that I am executing on top of the script. So like this layer makes it slightly slower based on the speed. But with today's processing speed, there's always a way around to make it fast enough to not worry about the performance too much. Of course, if you're getting like really high fidelity programming, then I bet it becomes a problem. But then there's always a way to shave times where you need it. I don't think it's something that you want to worry about from the get-go.
that was a long way to answer whatever I said. What do we got here? Where was I? By the way, I'm a beginner. Okay. ABD Antique says, what do you say? Which is better? Go to, okay, I said that. Frosty, if you don't know how something works, you can, yeah. Stick, I think I answered Stick's question. Frosty says, yeah, Godot doc is insanely well built. Yes, it is. It's so good. Like a lot of times, every time I just like right click onto a thing and say, or if you hold control on your keyboard, you can just click and go to the implementation. And if there's no implementation, if it's like a fundamental stuff built in, then it goes to the document or a little tip. And you can see it's always so full. And it's mainly because it's community supported as well. Document's so good. Did you ever won a game jam? Ha! You're trying to get my credibility here. No. No, I have not won a game jam. I think the last one I went to that I really took seriously was the GMTK Game Jam last year, which I didn't have much time for. Obviously, I didn't add any audio and stuff like that. But next one, I want to win it. I want to not win, but I want to do something where I get pretty high. So I'm working on that. Ebidion Tick says, sorry if I hard to understand my English. Okay, that's fine. Where did you learn to program with Godot? Self-taught. I mean, a lot of document reading, a lot of online searching. I mean, I know how to learn programming in general. This is the thing about people talking about which programming language to start with. Fundamentally, so if you learn programming in college, which I did, and you don't need to, by the way, you can learn this online. There's a lot of online resources. If you understand the fundamental programming concept and how to solve certain problems with the pseudocode, right? Like pseudo concept, it doesn't matter what language you use. So fundamentally, GDScript and using Godot, that's the same thing. Only thing that's unique now is using scene trees and knowing like which properties are what. And a lot of the times, the way I work is that I don't worry about, do I immediately know how to get there? It's more like, I want that. Let me achieve that. Break it apart into small chunks, right? So for example, here, I want this sprite to be clicked. How do I do that? How do I do click processing? There's like thing about area 2D, you do this, do event trigger. Oh, there's a button. Regular button is only text. Can I make a texture button? You look for texture button. Texture button does processing, all these things. Yeah, no need to learn it in college. Definitely no. College just has streamlined it and makes it more credible so you can get a job. That's it. Well, easier to get a job, but that's not necessary. I went to mechanical engineering and learned programming on my own. Well, now my CE buddies ask me stuff about Python. Yeah, you know, learning programming is just like, have you done Lego when you were younger? Like, how do you make spaceship with Lego? You know, it's funny because like, what do you mean? Like, you just make it. Like, yeah, there's like you can follow a tutorial or very specific blueprint to make a very specific spaceship with a Lego. But, you know, honestly, you just put Lego pieces together until it looks like a spaceship. And you just trial and error. It's the exact same concept. No need to learn it in college. I started with text game and Visual Basic. Yep. Those were great times. Now I try to make code in C# while my work is with PHP. Wow, PHP. Okay, wow, Zuzu, I didn't know you were in a torture chamber. But college don't learn GDScript. No, you don't. You learn Java these days most of the times. Maybe C# because of the popularity of iPhone. But I went to Georgia Institute of Technology for Computer Science. I was a double major in physics. We learned Java. And then I did C. We did programming Game Boy games. That was fun. That's in C because you literally manipulate memory. What is useful, though,
which modern day computer science or modern day coders don't worry about as much, is still understanding how computers are built, like how the history of if statement, history of switch statement, like how did it go from true, false, and then having a gate to a processor, having a memory. What does cache mean? All those things actually have been helpful to me, I think, in understanding how to make things more. Because understanding basics and fundamentals while you don't think about it all the time gives you the intuition on how to go about solving certain problems sometimes. And she says, that's coding in general. I work as a front-end developer without degree, and it's fine when you land the first job. Yep. Once you get an experience, you can prove that you can solve a problem. A lot of the times, the coding, I talk to my industry friends all the time with the whole like interview being a little stupid, kind of silly, because like it tests if you have like basic understanding and know how to solve a problem, but you never do those things in real job. Like the closest thing you do to the interview questions are actually game development. But for the most part, like you don't do anything that is as intense and thought-provoking as coding interview. So that's a little silly. And most of the times it tests for can you talk while coding and explain yourself. That's more important. There's funny cases. I mean, I conducted a lot of interviews for Amazon because, you know, I worked in Amazon for like 8 years. And a lot of times, you know, like people come to the interview trying to solve a problem, but those are not the candidates that we elect, right? Because like we believe as someone who knows how to code, knowing how easy it is to code and find out, it's less about like, can you do these things without asking any questions? It's more about, can you ask the right question? That's what I want to know. Because you will run into a situation where you don't have the answer to, right? And that's more important. How do you handle a situation where you don't know the answer, right? Because that's where the real strength is. We all know how to do things that we already know. How do you solve a problem that you don't know? You know, that's the crux of the business. Anyways. It's called, I think the professional term for that is dealing with ambiguity. That's what the business people call it. Dealing with ambiguity. Can you deal with ambiguity? That's the mark of senior engineer. That's coding in general. Frosty says, so casually, I went to Georgia Tech. I was double major as if I'm not bending over backwards to get accepted there from the third world country. Yeah, sure, fine. Check my privilege. It's true. I lived in Georgia. At the time, I heard it's a lot harder now, actually. At the time when I was going to college, which was like 2008, I want to say, it wasn't as competitive. It was still well-known school, but it wasn't as competitive because they had a higher acceptance rate if you were from local, like Georgia. So I lived in Georgia, and that's where I was. So a lot of my friends went there. I heard it's a lot harder now, especially if you're an international student. I'm sure it's very, very difficult. Do you see the GMTK Game Jam of this year? There are 16,000 or 16.8 thousand participants. Yeah. There's going to be a lot. And it's 5 days. You know what? If those people could do like some of the previous winners and people who participate in game jams, they do amazing job in like 2 days. Can you imagine what it's going to be like full week? But I made a difference. I made a change. I let everybody in my life know that that week of GMTK Jam this year, I'm gone. I'm not going to be available. I'm going all out. So I'm hoping that something great could come out of it. Xerox says, man, my job interviews were so weird. Had to work in PHP without ever touching it. Failed because I didn't get it in the time limit. Still got accepted to round 2. Turned out it was toxic. Yeah, a toxic environment. Touch Godot job. touche. I got a job with PHP right after that with good help though. Yeah. Yeah. Interview is silly. It's not really about the interview. Interview is all about, can you talk about it? Yeah. I don't want to go back to tech job, or at least a big tech job. Like, I'm done with that. I know how to play the game. I know how to, like, write the letter. And obviously sounds spoiled because a lot of people are trying to find a job as well. But, I think I'm being proper by saying I'm going to leave the job opening to those who want it and need it, instead of me trying to compete there and take it, from those people who want it and need it. I've done it. I've been there, done that. I'm ready to move on. Bye-bye, Asha. Thanks for joining. A question before I go, Frosty says, what your process on making a game completely solo? Like, I first figure out the story and the art style and move on to mechanics. I don't think there's an answer. Obviously, you know that there isn't an answer. That's why you asked, what do I think? I used to be like, oh yeah, fun main loop, and then build a game around it. I think for me now is more about I pick a kind of like emotion or an experience that I want people to feel, and then build with a limitation an idea on how to make that experience a reality. For example, this game idea, I said, I want an isekai experience, like a anime protagonist experience. How do I do that? And then I went around, being really true to that experience, not thinking about balance. Because ultimately that's the fun, right? It's like, oh, that's the fun part. Next game, which I'm working on with my friend, is the maze game. I asked the question, what does it mean to be lost in a maze? And what part of it is fun and appealing to you? And it'll be like, oh, yeah, I like the fact that there's what's around the corner. And then you turn in and there's a discovery. So then you think about, okay, there should be a main point of interest where there's like a history and stuff like that. Like that kind of stuff. That's how I do it. And then after that, before even thinking about the actual mechanics, after having that brainstorm, I do visual session of like just drawing this. So for this game idea, I did this thing where I drew this, right? To be like, oh, color, look, what's the kind of like emotion I want to invoke, the coherency. And then this also informs the idea of like, oh yeah, this kind of feels like old school fantasy, feels a little bit like dwarven stuff. And then like it kind of builds around that. And of course, every now and then you have to draw it back and be like, does it do everything it needs to do? As opposed to being like, and then idea, and then idea, and then idea. Like fundamentally, at the core, does it fulfill the fun? That's my process. Which is fine. Cyberpunk vibe, cool. And then I say, what's cool about cyberpunk vibe? Is it the color? Is it the neon? What gets you excited? Is it the new tech? Is it the machine? Is it the music? If it's everything, then you write those things down. The mystery, because cyberpunk is kind of noir in a lot of sense. Okay. ABD Antic says, what that line 2D do? Oh. I was experimenting with this texture version of the line so that I can go from this point to this point. So the idea is the player is going to select their beginning, and then after some text box interaction, the line's going to draw into another one, another node, like this. Let's see. Let's make mountain and then military here. Like so. Like that. And then make another line 2D, let's say. Make it so that it's something like this. Like that. Like this. Yeah. And I thought, oh yeah, player get to hover over and see, oh,
you are born from the farmland, so you have base strength, and then you get this like strength 1 card or strength 1 passive where you do +1 attack, +1 damage to all physical type card. And then you go to the mountain and say, you were bored with your time in the farm, so you decide to take a journey into the mountain, where maybe this is a legendary mountain. And from there, you met a stranger, blah, blah, blah. What do you do? And then you do those things. And then at the end of those interaction, you get new card or new buildable card. And then at the end of the day, you have like this deck that you can use either on PvP or doing a challenge and all those things. Frosty, bye. Bye, Frosty. Thanks for joining. Thanks for chatting. Yep. Yeah. I'm excited. Anyways, so the real question is, how do I draw this line programmatically? Gotta go. Xerox, bye. Thanks for joining. I know it's super late over there. Thanks for staying here. Bye. See you. I'm still going to be here. I'm going to get some water. I'll be back. By the way, has there been an ad in this stream so far? I don't know if it monetizes or not. I've never done this, so I'm not actually sure. Instead of dotted line, you could use dirt path. Ooh, I love that idea. Let's do it. Okay, so we have this color, and then I guess dirt. Let me imagine what dirt looks like here. I'm going to draw what dirt patch might look like. So I think maybe dirt looks something like this, right? And then there's a lot of like dark dots. I'm making sure I stick with the palette I have. Maybe there's some bright spots. And then maybe there's some dark spots. And I gotta make sure I look at this. And then the transitory area from the green, I think I'm going to use this color, where you have this kind of like brighter rim, right? And then maybe a little bit of darker grass that's like something. Or I gotta make sure it doesn't. It seems a little bit too abrupt between this green and this green. It's okay, I'll figure it out. Maybe it can be like this. That's way too dark. Whoops. This color is so limited. What about footprints? I love footprint idea. But then maybe footprint is once you took that path. So it's dirt path. And then once you select the path, you see a footprint. Oh my gosh. I love that. I love that idea. All right. So dirt path is going to look something like, ooh, something like this. Right. Actually, I don't even need these like border stuff. I think these like varied pattern already reads as a dirt. Doesn't it? And then maybe something like that. Okay. Something like that. Now, I want to make sure like this repeat right now is like consistent. I want it to repeat between
I needed to choose like different texture. Can I have like multiple texture that I can rotate with? Gradient? No, it's not going to be that. Ah. Can I not use the line? Am I going to have multiple lines where I disconnect and connect? Because it's not going to look the same if I say, for example, if I take this, right, and do this, for example, and then export it. It's not going to line up nicely. I mean, it's not terrible, but I want it to be more like, more organic looking. Chet says, gotta go. Yeah, I saw that. Bianco, instead of dotted line, you could, yep. What about footprint? Yeah, that's a great idea. Yes, isn't it? Okay, well, for now, you know what? I'm gonna I like for now, right? I like saying for now because I'm a lazy person. Maybe I could make it a little bit longer. I really need varied strength. Ugh. Whatever. It's okay. I'll figure it out eventually. But I think for now it's okay. I'm going to make another 8x8. Is it? And then do... a minimal footprint. You know what? I'm going to need a little bit more space. 8x8 is a little too restricting. 16x16. We got little oval shape like this, I think. Yeah. And I got to make sure I use this color instead. I gotta load the palette. Load palette. Yeah. Blue Fantasy. Got that. Then maybe I do a flip of that. Paste and then vertical flip. Like that. Does that read as footprint? All right, whatever. Map. Foot path. And then we're gonna export this. Yeah. All right, so let's make the second line. Maybe I copy the first one. First line. So that it overlaps perfectly. I'm doing visual testing here. I love doing visual testing manually first and then think about and worry about, doing it programmatically. That is not reading. Maybe I need more space here. Canvas size. Let's make it 32x32. So there's more space. I'm going to do it like this. You know what? Maybe I'm going to put little toes on it. It's getting worse. Save me. Oh my gosh, that looks awful. Oh no, this looks so bad. Once again, trust the process, right? In process, we trust. Okay, hold on. I need some reference. I'm going to say footprint pixel art. Get a little inspiration. Ooh, yeah. Dun dun dun. Something like that. Go boop 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 boop. Like that? Maybe I need to move it by one. Kind of. Close. Almost there, I feel. I feel like it needs to be like this a little bit. Maybe? All right, let's see what the chat says about this. Unless I close the chat, which I might have done. Bigfoot was here. Yes, Bigfoot is still here. Vertical. I definitely want more gap between the steps. Like that. Let's see if this works. And I think I need to make the path wider to fit it. Oh, that's why. Oh. Oh no. Oh no. Let's see. Why you don't zoom in? Oh, why do I not zoom in to the pixel art like this? I mean, I like to get a good image of what it looks like because this is what it's going to look like in the game. And if I zoom in, I can't really see the same vision I see here. Is being barefoot normal in your setting? No, I mean, it's not, but it just reads better as a foot than just like little stumpy clop. You know what I mean? Like if I just do this, like, is that a machete or foot? You know what I mean? So that's why I wanted to see if this if this reads better. Now, maybe the trick is not to have too many curved line. Well, whatever. I have the assets. I'll figure it out. But what's more important now, maybe I need to come up with different ways to draw the line instead of using the pre-built features. I mean, that's a limit. That's the limit of using pre-built features. And basically, these lines and the way that it's doing texture, like implementation of that is basically something that we would have done anyways. We love our elongated toes, don't we? Don't clip me saying that. I don't know if it is even possible to clip me, but I think I regretted it immediately saying that. Hold on. I'm checking YouTube right now because I want to see if I can set up some stuff. Oh, yeah, there is a setting. Okay. Ooh, fancy. Look at this. This is what we see. Average view duration, concurrent viewers. Hey, 24. Holla. All right. This is what we're doing right now. Hey, monetization is on. Oh, chat revenue. Nice, nice. Oh, fuck. Sorry if good thing it was okay. See, I'm a noob. I'm a streaming noob. I should have known not to show all that information. My bad. I'm trying to read it. It's so far. My second screen is so far away. All right. You know what? I'm going to try this. Please stick around for this part. Am I allowed to say that? I'm not. Maybe I'm not allowed to say that. I'm not gonna say anything other than the fact that I'm going to use the restroom. I'll be back. I'm gonna put an ad on. Try that out. Does that work? I don't know. Let me know. Let me know if it works. Okay. All right, I'm back. Did it work? Bro, it's new. What's new? What are you talking about? No AD here. No ad? Wait, is it gonna delay? Hold on. What does this mean? Let me read this. Oh, resume ad. I paused it. Here, resume. I don't know what's going on here. Hey, YouTube, please figure this out. Stream is healthy. Oh, you got ad block. You block origin, keeping us. Wow. Hey, what if I didn't want you guys to hear me flush the toilet and stuff like that? Have you thought about that? Ad block doesn't save life here. Well, all right. If you have ad block anyways, might as well, you know. I'm sure there are other ways to monetize. As always, Jonas has supported me today, so thank Jonas for paying for the stream today, I guess. Oh, thanks, Leonard. Or Leonardo. I said Leonard. Leonardo. It's okay. It's okay. You know, you have right to your own plugin. You know, ads can be predatory, and so I understand. Funnily enough, if you've seen my browser, hey, what is that? What is that on the right top corner? Yeah. So, anyways, all right. Button. It took us 2 hours to add a button to this. It's okay, right? We're having fun, right? Are we having fun? As long as we're having fun, we are good. Let's say texture button would be like a sprite button. Let's do that for now. I'm not going to use a sprite. Let's do a little house, little farm. Farm under normal. I think the size is a little goofy. I want to make sure that the size matches the sprite. So I think I'm going to make sure that it keeps, do not ignore texture. There's some base button thing. Action should be on release or press? On release, I think. Left click button. Layout. Transform. Well, if I reset it, cool. And then position should be 0, 0. And of course, 0, 0 means it is aligned by top left corner. This is what anyways, I'm not gonna go tangent with that anymore. Okay. Let's see what it looks like, honestly. Select current. Do I get a little point icon? Okay, doesn't. Oh yeah. Did you notice how huge my mouse pointer is? I made this change because somebody made a suggestion saying that they couldn't see my mouse pointer. So I'm going to increase the window size since I didn't do that yet. Let's see. Somebody said I could actually directly put the math here. Hey, real pro tip is 1080 by 1920. Well, other way around. 1920 with 1080 height is the 1080p, right? 1080p resolution. And then since it's a pixel game, I want a fraction of it. But I don't want it to be too tight, like my car game tutorial. So I'm just going to do half. Look, I can do half like that. Oh, wow. Wow. Initial position is fine. I'm going to do full screen, but for now I'm going to do this so it's easier to debug. I heard canvas item is what I want to do for the stretch mode. VSync, whatever. Not important right now. What is it? Let's say. I turn it off too. Gonna head off. It's approaching midnight here. Have a great rest of your stream. Thank you, Anshi. Bye. Thanks for joining me. And everyone. Yay. All right. Let's see. Okay, yeah, this is pretty cool. Still doing the tiny thing, so let's stretch it out. Don't clip me saying that either. Windowed. Let's do full screen. Because I want to see what it looks like when it's big. Yeah, that's not bad. That looks cute. I mean, it seems appropriate. Okay, cool. All right, so we got the window size done. I'm going to get the button. So first thing I want to do is I want to make sure that the button press does something. And I'm thinking let's go ahead and create this as a branch at this point. So we got map location will be map node, right? The point of interest, as someone said earlier. And the map node, actually, so the usage here, I'm going to get rid of all the other map nodes. I think what we want to do here is be able to say, because I'm using on this game, so I dragged and dropped it. A few things I need to be able to determine is the sprite, right? So I'm going to do that. So attach a script. We're going to have map node script, which already there. Actually, it's already there. I'm going to say export our favorite command, export var. It's going to be texture. So let's call this texture. Yeah, I think the main texture is probably fine. And then it'll be texture 2D. And no default here. For practice, this is going to be here right there. Cool, cool, cool. And then on set, so when this texture is set, I'm going to make it so that texture is the value, obviously, and value is, I wonder if it types automatically or if I have to do it like this. I mean, it's going to be texture 2D. So set the value, and then immediately, maybe it doesn't like typing. It doesn't like the typing. So after doing the set texture as a reserve, immediately update the sprite button, right? OnReady button, which is sprite button, equals this. And here, class name, mep node, on set immediately, what did I say? I'm going to set its, var, I forgot var. Set its normal texture normal. I'll just set command instead of doing it directly. Because I am a engineering excellence promoter. I really am not, but you know. And then set it to texture. Boom. I think that should work. So for example, by default, I'm gonna, hold on. It doesn't like this. Could not find type sprite button. Oh, it's not sprite button. It's actually texture button. Sprite button is the name. So we're gonna go to 2D. We're gonna zero everything out. Texture, gonna get rid of this default value. And then we're going to get rid of this position so that it's at 0. Another thing I'm going to do actually that I need to set, because something that I did earlier is that I went to the layout, I went to the transform, and I set the size of the button to match the texture. I'm going to zero it out for now so that it automatically fills it, hopefully. And so if I come over, and then of course I'm going to make this a tool so that it executes during the editor time. We love them tools and exports. Come to main. Come over here. We have this thing right here. I'm going to assign a texture. Farm. It worked. Nothing broke. Yay. I think. What about its size? Transform gets... Okay. Hopefully it doesn't freak out. It looks right. I saw some chat. I like to reference my setter as function. You mean like you have an entire function? I like to reference my setter as function. Oh, you mean like this, right here. Yeah, I prefer it too. Because the direct access, I'm not sure, I haven't experienced any problem with direct access in GDScript because a lot of these like built-in functionalities, they made it so that it still gets triggered on direct access. So there's no like, oh, if you do direct access, there could be a bug potentially. Like there's not as much of that, which I'm really impressed by. But still, you know, why do that? And trust when you can not trust, you know? Anyways, another thing. So we come here and we say, well, when you click, I want dialogue to pop up. So we're going to do that. We're going to do base button pressed. I'm going to handle it on map node. And this is where a fun thing's going to happen. So I already finished a two episode of Ultimate Dialog Box tutorial. So I have something that I already created, the dialog box. So I'm going to copy two things here. I'm going to copy my dialog plugin so I can write the dialogue. So let's do that first. Where is my dialog plugin? It is under Godot. You know, Microsoft really needs to shape up. You know how when you go to my PC or this PC, you have these like default folders called like documents, my videos, my picture. That versus if you go to C, users drive, your username, documents, they're two different things for some reason. Or access is different. Like you don't get the same values out of there. on top of OneDrive confusion. You have those like access controlled different levels of document control, and then you have the actual document. You have 3 different things to take care of. Ugh, that's enough. Anyways, dialog plugin, easy dialog plugin. Okay, cool. Once again, it's as easy as, so imagine that this was the fork you got. I'm just going to grab my add-on. So I gotta create a add-on folder, which is a add-on, I think. Do you say add-ons? Yeah, it's add-ons actually. Rename add-ons. And then I'm just gonna simply drag and drop easy dialog. Bam. I got dialog plugin now. And I'm going to go to the project setting. Or before I do that, I'm going to reload the project. Windows Explorer does suck. I used to use a command. It's called total command now. Yeah, add-ons with a S, which makes sense if you speak English, which I don't. I'm not a native speaker, even though I am a U.S. citizen and was born in America. Early stages of my life after I was born, like around 4, I moved to Korea. And I lived there till like elementary school was done. I moved here in middle school, I want to say. So there is some awkwardness. Anyways, auto load. No, plugins. Enable. Bam, I got as dialogue. It's actually easy dialogue. I happen to have the same starting letters as my own dialogue plugin. It's not because it's Ezra's dialogue. It's just literally easy dialogue. I'm not a narcissist, I promise. Script, add-ons. Okay. And then the next thing I want to copy is I have this... am I too loud? I've been refusing to upgrade to Windows 11. Should I? Should I not? Am I losing out on anything besides like the security support? Anyways, dialog box tutorial. So I have this dialog box. Hopefully that just works. Drag and drop. Doesn't look promising. Oh, I copy, paste. Yeah, I think that's better. Another thing I want to make sure when I dragged and dropped, it was a copy, not a cut and paste, because that would be silly. All right, it's still there. Cool. There might be a clash. So we have a dialog box here. Cool, cool, cool. Little hint. There's a tutorial coming up. I'm hoping to release early to the members. I am going to start membership maybe after this stream. Maybe I use this as like a announcement, but not really an announcement. Obviously, you guys are not required to sign up. It's just a little ways to support me. I'm going to do members only stream. I plan on doing early releases. And of course, there's a member exclusive emotes. But yeah, that is a little, what do you call that? Sidetrack. Keep losing. Am I having a brain damage right now? I keep forgetting things right now. Or I've been just talking too much. Let's see. It's even worse than Windows 11. Visually, it's 10 times better. Is it? Really? But it's really buggy. No thanks. Linux better. Linux is better. I like Unix-based machine. Even then, is this a hot take when I say I like, when programming, I actually like a MacBook because I really love MacBook Terminal. Not because of anything else. I just love the fact that MacBook Terminal is straight up Unix terminal. I use it every day. I0M? What's the I0M? I'm a C#. Oh, I use it every day. I'm a C# desktop developer. Okay, that makes sense. Then you have to use Windows. Windows 10 increased the market. The little heart is in covering the text, so I can't really see. Heart. Oh, no. That's not what I wanted to do. Market share?
Oh yeah, share in these past days. Windows 10, you know, Windows had even larger market share back in the day, huh? Back in XP days. I remember XP was the best, I think. In my opinion, XP was the peak Windows. I mean, 97 is a close second. But yeah. Anyways, yeah, yeah. Duke it out. Duke it out. I mean, I'm doing Windows, what do you call, Windows 11 or Windows 10, refusing to upgrade. But we'll see. What was I doing? What was I doing? I still use Windows 7 in my desktop. Windows 7 was another one that I refused to... Wait. Yeah, Windows 7 was a good one, right? And then Windows 8 was the failed one where they tried to go tile mode. Is that correct? Anyway, oh yeah, dialog box. Okay, so I have a dialog box. Hey, reason this dialog box is kind of cool, in my opinion. So I'll show you a few things. We got this dialog box, right? Guess what you can control? You got the choices, you got the background. Main thing is this background thing. I made this tile mode. So in Unity, they have those dialog box where it splits the... You determine the corner, top, right corner, left, center of the dialog box, and it scales it based on the dialog box size without warping it. It's not scaling it. It's actually having corners fixed and then tiling the middle part so that it's repeating it. So it's great for like pixel games with like larger or different resolution if you're making different resolution game. So for example, I can make a so let's make a dialog box. Let's see, 32, 32, 32. So 32 times 3 would be... I got to do it in Korean in my head. So 96 by 96, let's say. And then I'm going to select the grid, which is 32 by 32. And here, I'm going to say, I'm going to use the palette. Load palette. And then I think I might want to have UI part different than the original palette. Maybe I should add a UI palette. Never mind. I'm just going to do it. Load palette. My palette is Blue Fantasy. And then let's say I use this like really dark lines. And then I want the face of the dialog box to be kind of peaceful. Maybe even, but not too bright where it burns my eyes, but not too saturated. So I want a desaturated look. And maybe I'll manipulate this color a little bit to make it even slightly less saturated. Oh, that's too boring though. And then maybe I'll decorate the corners, make it a little bit more fantasy-like. So we're going to have something where it's like little shapes. Oops. Oh, maybe I can do something like that. And then maybe this could be like golden border. That would be cool. Let's say I do this, where I have this yellow border. Maybe the middle color. Yeah, I think I'm going to have a harsher transition and contrast. Oh, chat's popping. What's chat saying? Yeah, sometimes there is a legendary one. Wait, what? Did I just miss a whole conversation? I still use Windows 7 in my desktop. It's just simple. Simple is good. It's always good, bad, good, bad. Yeah, they experiment. 9 patch. 9 patch? With what? Windows 7 is not recommended to connect on internet now. Careful with login cookie tokens and credit cards. Okay, security issues. Cool. We don't want that.
Uh, ABDO Antic says, yeah, sometimes there is a legendary one, like the Windows, yeah. Remington says, where did you learn pixel art? I've always been interested in art growing up, so I do a lot of like hand-drawn art. Let me just showcase my art. No, it's not that good, but I like color theory. I studied a lot. I watched people make like mangas and animes and stuff like that. So if you look at my art history, I used to have an art account. Like I like to like paint, digital painting. This is ugly. Don't look at this one. This is ugly too. But I got some stuff. There's some experimental one here. But anyways, so I like drawing and painting in general. Never in physical medium. I just like to translate them in pixel art. I use mouse, as you know. I learn by searching. Online is a trove of information. And I like pixel art because I feel like it's more peaceful. Like error, when you make a mistake, your mistake is 1 pixel. And a lot of times it's a lot of like looking at it and changing it. So even without having a lot of experiences or like feeling like you're really good with it, it feels freeing. It feels like liberating to create pixel art because you can just make something look nice at the level of a pixel. Like, is this a good pixel or not? That's all it takes. So I'm looking at this to make it this like kind of like golden-ish, like luxury border that feels fantasy. And you're looking a lot on this. I'm more looking over here because this is what's important to me, how this looks zoomed out. Yes, I know I don't use desktop. Where did you learn pixel art? Yes, I know I don't use desktop for things like this as I was previously hacked into Windows 7. No hacking, please. Also known as 9-slice panels. Yes, Chris, 9-slice panels. 9-patch racked produces clean panels of any size based on small texture. To do so, it splits your texture in 3x3. Yep. So I implemented that for my generic dialogue box, which is the first episode of the ultimate dialogue box tutorial, because I'm making this ultimate dialogue box in anticipation for GMT Jam this year, because I know I'm going to need it. And then another thing I made is that it handles text animation automatically as well, and so on and so forth. Let's see. Yeah, I know I don't use it. Oh, Antic, thank you for commenting on the art. Chicks Pinix. I really loved your card game devlog. Why do you use a card as no 2D instead of control? I'm creating a game too, and for things like this, it's so much easy to handle size and positions. No, you're right. You're valid. Episode 3, I do add a control version of the card, which is not out yet, because what I'm doing on episode 3, I do the create a deck, and then I do a deck display where in a center window, I display all the cards in the deck. And then in order, as you know very well, if you're doing any type of like container rules, like flow container, margin, and then the gaps in between, those things are very much better handled with control. So I agree, you should use control. A reason I was using 2D is because that was just like my base start, so that I can just like, because the problem with the control and container is that it's hard to just position freely in the beginning. So I wanted to do that with the node because I can just like freehand it. And that's how I start usually. And also, you know, I'm kind of new. I don't pretend to know everything. Like, I've been using Godot. I've been doing game dev for like a year now, maybe a little bit over a year now, year and a half. And solo, so like I don't know everything, but you know, I'm using my basic knowledge of programming as kind of like guide. So sometimes choices like that is purely a mistake, but you know, if you're really looking for a reason,
why I did that is because I feel more freedom in experimenting with how things look when I'm using a free floating node 2D in the scene first. I like to, because I'm a very visual person, so I like to capture the look, kind of like drawing, painting in your hand, capturing the look first, and then figuring out, okay, now how do I systematically make it so that the gaps are even or stuff like that. Not the best way to do it if you are not used to working that way, but it works for me. And to me, that's what's important. Okay, I'm gonna make some. The contrast is a little bit too crazy, I think. I'm gonna try to make it so that the inside rim. So I'm imagining light is coming from top to bottom, right? So that means this is gonna be all like this. And then maybe you have these like spot highlights. And then this dark line, honestly, is a little bit too dark. So I'm gonna, let's see, yellow in a color wheel. This yellow color to blue is complementary versus green is more transitory. Now, complementary shadow is pretty cool, so I might use the desaturated complementary as a shadow. That also means I gotta change the center color to green. I'm gonna make it maybe like this. Yeah, that's not too bad. You might think that it's ugly, but just wait. Yeah, I think that's pretty nice. Agree to disagree if you don't agree. That's fine too. Maybe the center part needs to be a little bit brighter. And then I'm going to draw this down. Maybe this whole side needs to be a shade. And then the inside needs to be actually highlighted, like so. Too much contrast, so I'm going to drop this like that. And then a little bit of highlights. This shadow is a little bit harsh. That makes more sense. And then this, I think, needs to be a point. All right, I'm checking comment now again. Also, Bianco says, is this game medieval? Fantasy. So, like classic fantasy with magic and stuff like that. So I think medieval, because I'm invoking the feeling of like traditional Lord of the Ring, fantasy, magic, D&D, RPG experience. So yeah, you could say that. I think instead of point in the corner, I want some roundedness, like a little leafy roundedness. So what if I do this? Like so. And then a little bit of circular feel. Cool. Let's do that. Nice. Okay, a little bit of circle feel. And then maybe this could point a little bit smoother. Isn't it amazing how much like time I can waste on just the art part? Waste, relatively speaking. And maybe it's like a little bit of embossing here. Like a little, feels like a little relief. Yeah, has that feeling a little bit of beveled, like little dot that's like poking out. Kind of want to move this whole thing
Nah, I think that's good. And then I wanted to do that. And I want this mirrored on this side. So I'm going to do that. What else? The specialty of the control node is the adjustment of the size and positioning depending on the screen size. Yes. And that's why it's heavily used for UIs. And I agree. I'm just not familiar with using it too much, so that when I'm like trying to capture image when I'm doing the brainstorming, I actually struggle a lot with using control. Because then, like, in the beginning, when I'm trying to be like, I want this here, I want this here, like, I got to figure out the rule to place those components relative to the screen size, as opposed to being like, no, 100 pixel right here, just put it here, please. So, like, yeah, I mean, if you're really used to it, especially if you're like used to being a front end engineer, I'm sure that's like cakewalk. That's my weakness. It's not comfortable for me. You know? So yeah. Sorry. I am a weak programmer. Anyways, what else? Chicks Pinix. I need to get new glasses or something. I can't see very well. Maybe I can just like, ooh, I can make the text bigger. Nice. Chicks Pinix says, yeah, HBox container is a silver bullet for this. Yeah. I do use HBox container. Or not HBox container. I use a bunch of stuff. Anyways, yeah, containers are amazing and painful, depending on what situation you're in. Antique, I'll be back. I hope I don't miss anything. Yep, you're not going to miss anything. I'm just doing Pixar right here, just chatting away. TJ's creation kit. Hello, mic cutting out for me. Oh, is that true? Is my mic cutting out for anyone else? Oh, you can even use wood sign as pop-up. I love that. Textured wood sign. Yeah. Okay, I'm going to keep creating this real quick. I know how to mirror. That. I think I need to lower it by 1 pixel, actually. Is that right? Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, and then one more. Yeah. So it actually is like this. And then it goes 1 divot, 2 point, 2 point, 1 divot, 2 point, and 1 internal rotation. Okay. All right, I did it. And then I'm going to highlight it properly. Seems like I'm making the right and top highlights, so I'm going to do right here. Shadow down. This is the crevice. Crevice doesn't receive light, right? I want to say. But there's too much lighting, I think. I'll do that like that. That's fine. A little bit of transition light. I think this is okay. Like so. And then maybe I can emphasize the volume of this bulb, like it's like more like a round bulb, by adding more highlight. That emphasizes like roundness. And then I give it a definition by doing this. Yeah, I think that's good. This is the tricky part. There's not enough pixel for me to really do the work. You know what? I think this reads okay. It's not too terrible. I mean, I don't want to spend too much time on this. That's good. We got little circle, little bulb. And then the center pieces maybe could have like a gentle bevel. Is that too much? I think it's too much detail. All right. I'm going to just do that. Oh. the old foot attacks out of nowhere. Little foot soldier, you know, flip horizontal. Now I'm going to have to change this a little bit because the shading should be different. Should be coming from the right. So I do a little bulb here again. Maybe keep this in here. Say the... The volume feels a little different, doesn't it? I might have to do it like this. Yeah. It's a little tricky. It's okay. You know what? It's okay. It's not that big a deal. And then it still hits the right side. I'm going to go full dark on the left side here. And then let's put highlight on the right side. Like so. And then the top part receives a highlight. The corners, doesn't matter, I guess. There it is. Let's see, I gotta change the highlighting here. The feeling of baldness. Feeling of baldness. Don't clip that. Jeez. I'm saying a bunch of stuff that I feel. See, if it was a recording, I would say edit. All right. Dialog box. Let's put it under dialog box. Dialog. 9 panels. Okay, and then I'm going to flip this and then change the highlight again. Flip vertical. You know, after doing all this, I might be like, this looks awful. Let's not. Oops. One more time. Vertical. I forgot. I'm deleting the corner. I gotta get rid of this. There you go. Shadow. Highlight. And then light coming from top right. Darkness. And then we want a little bit of feeling of crampedness. And then hard transition. There you go. I think that looks a little bally. Mic is fine for me. Thank you, Micah, for confirming. Let's see. Bianco says, you can even use wood sign. Yep. Perfect. We read this already. Let's see. Let's see. Okay, so we got the shadow. We got more light coming from the top and right. This needs to change as well. This is in the shadow, so I think I'm gonna do this. Then right here as well. Let's put this right here. Put little bright light like a diamond. It's really losing that ball shape. I have to do this. Like to squint to check if I'm losing myself in the sauce. Feels a little too thick. I'm going to cut this right here. Little better. Okay. Do a little reflection light there. Okay, another one. See, I spare you on my actual videos, tutorial videos. I spare you guys of all this tedious work. I fast forward because I know this can get really boring. Because who cares? Who cares what I do? The kind of thoughts I have in making a pixel art, right? Like, unless you tell me that you do care, then I guess it's a different story. But it was my understanding that it's not that important. Yeah. Okay, I like that. Do. And then drop this down real quick. Still has that nice, like, ball-like look to it. Gotta make sure. I think I gotta cut this, actually. Like that. And transition would be a little bit browner. Okay. You know, it's not perfect, but it's just convincing enough to not be too strange. Let's do a little spreading shadow. Cool, cool, cool. Still the highlights, like so. Okay, that doesn't feel awful. I mean, the balls are weird, but, you know, it is what it is. Let's see, we got, what kind of game are you making? Somebody told me that it was at 6-minute mark. I'm explaining the game concept a little bit. But basically, oh, where'd it go? Basically, let me show you right here. You see these little icons, right? It's basically a deck builder-ish, but then like adventure deck builder. Like Slay the Spire, you know how they have like these nodes with the lines as you go through? Basically, each location, those map nodes will be these like locations, and they're different backgrounds to your character story. And basically, if you go into a farm, you could be like, oh, are you born from the farmland? Are you born from the militaristic background? Are you a noble? And then based on that story play out, like a little choose your adventure, at the end you get the cards based on your story experience. Or like passive effect, like for example, if you're a farmhand, you're like, oh, you're used to working with animal. All your cards now can spawn a little sheep, for example. I don't know. So it's a deck builder adventure. And then there's a whole like multiplayer aspect to it that I was thinking about. That would be really cool. I don't know. Go check 6-minute mark, please. Because I cannot re-explain things that I did 4 moments ago the same way. The balls are weird. Ezra, stop clipping me, Bianco. Balls are awesome. Okay. Anyways, I'm here for a reason. Yeah, exactly, Bianco. You're here for a reason. Okay, so we have this. You know what? If I really want to invoke this like old school RPG look, I think I could even like do this like what do you call this? Hatching. Not there. It's not called hatching. Dithering. Yo, I really should get my brain checked. I'm stuttering a lot. Or it's because I haven't had anything to eat yet. Couldn't be. Okay, I'm just gonna get this dithering in. Look, like it kind of looks nice, doesn't it? Like, should I doll it out a little bit? I feel like it kind of looks nice. I don't know. Ads will run shortly for some viewers. Hey, ads coming. That's what my thing says. So Just an FYI. I have a question for anyone who's used to YouTube streaming world. Like, can I gift membership to people? Is that a thing I can do? Like, for example, if I start like member benefits, but then for some people, I just want them to have the benefit. Can I give it to them? Is that a thing I can do? Because like, as much as I want to get as much support as possible, you know, there are people in my current Discord or people who have been a very early supporters. You know, I want them to be able to get the membership benefit for being an early supporter as opposed to them having to buy the membership all over again. Oh, that looks bad. I need to fix this. So I know some of you guys are like, there's better way to do this than like copy and paste. I'm sure. But as you can probably tell, I do a lot of things manually because I'm a sucker for pain. I am a sucker for pain, apparently. Whoops, I don't want to cover that. I have to do the corners. Cool. This looks okay, right? Nothing's new. I decided that I'm going to dither this face. And it has that really, to me, it invokes that really like old school CRPG feel to it, like fantasy CRPG feel to me. Hindsight, I feel like I should have done this on a different layer, so that I could be like, I don't like it. I'm gonna change the color. I don't have to like redo everything. See, even I make mistakes, as you probably were already aware, given how much mistakes I make all the time. But yeah, no, I love learning from you guys. Like, comments has been awesome, even though there's stuff where I'm like doing that people are like, oh, I don't know if I would have done that way. Like, I learned about texture button from one of the viewers. I learned about controls. I learned about line. Like, I learned about curve. Remember in the car tutorial, I do the whole math, which is really good YouTube. Like, it's really good YouTube, the whole math part, because people love that stuff. People, when I say people, I mean you guys. But obviously, a lot of people are like, you can use a curve. I was like, what? Curve? What is that? You can do path. Like path 2D, which is, you can have a curve. Look at that. Like, I learned about it. I haven't used it yet. So I don't actually know how it works. Oh. What is that? Oh, I can curve it like this. Can I curve this, please? Curve, please? Hello? Oh. Hey, that's not it. Oh, yeah, like that. Look at that. Well, I mean, hindsight, though, this doesn't look that helpful. But anyways, you can make it so that it, like, the objects follow the curve or whatever. I learned that, or I learned about it. But clearly, I haven't tried using it yet because I have no idea. So anyway, so I have a dialog box. I'm going to save this real quick in my folder. So instead of this, it should just work. It should just work if I did everything right. Here goes 9 panel. Whoa, it worked. Look at that. See, even though the original is 9696, it just scaled it. And guess what? Beauty of 9 panel texture. I go to layout here, transform. 0, 0. Well, 0, 0 is going to squish everything out. So let's say I do, hey, I think 300 by 200 is a great idea. Then it becomes this. Now, obviously, let me decide on the size based on the screen size. Oh, it didn't like that. Set texture normal on null value. Oh. Don't do this. If texture equals null, return. There you go. It's because on ready, all those things. Hey, it's not working. Wait, what's going on here? What? Wait, what just happened? Hold on. I'll figure this out. It went back to the original texture. Oh, is it because I used this as a default? But I'm replacing it. Replacing the texture like this. Wait, why is it back to no? What's happening? Bug. Oh, is it because of the default value? What's going on? Okay, so by default, I set this as a test. I come back to the main, and it's gone. It's gone. Oh, because it's not local to scene. Oh no. This needs to be local to scene or something, isn't it? Resource. Like if I go here and come here, I have to be like, hey, what? Because every time I come here, it's resetting it. So for example, the bug here, which remind me to go over this on episode 3 of Ultimate Dialog Box. So for example, if I have 2 dialog boxes and one of them, I change it. Wait, it works fine. I'm going to have to figure this out. Some sort of magic. Hi, Emily. Welcome to my first stream. I know you've been streaming quite a bit. Let's see. Is this the background of the main menu or the map? I want this to be the dialogue background. Is it too much? I mean, it feels kind of pretty. Anyways, I gotta fix this. Where was I? Hold on. I'm in a focus mode right now. I'm sweating. Wait, why am I sweating? Let me check on my AC. I'm back. Hindsight, I should put on the ad. But I was sweating because I set the AC temperature at 80, which wasn't doing anything. So I lowered it. Make it as local. Yeah, no, I thought that was the problem, but look. The 2 separate dialogue has different things. Oh, I know what it is. I need to make this local to scene. Do I have to do this programmatically? Right, I do. Local to scene. Local to scene. Like, I can't check this, obviously. I'm going to get rid of these. And then I say, get rid of this. All right, this is a serious debug mode right now. We're going to go click, background texture. I want 9 panel. I want a tile mode. If I play, it's cleared. It's because the way I implement this, I actually use 9 different texture rect. For all these, whenever I set a texture, I need it to be local to scene, I think. And I don't think clicking here is going to fix that. So let me get rid of all this real quick. Wait, but that makes no sense. Does it? Does it make some sense? It doesn't. I'm gonna hope that fixes it. So we'll see. We'll see. I'm gonna do this, and then when in the code that I create these like different parts, await ready. Await ready what? Snafui, explain. What do you mean await ready? I am out of water. I'm parched. I'll be back. No ad though. Okay. Is it Godot's mistake? I don't know. I'm not going to blame Godot yet, but we'll see. I'm trying to understand. When does it flip? How about this? I'm going to do update dialog background because that's when it happens. The tile background thing. I'm going to see if it gets triggered multiple times because it only should get triggered on create. So I play. It didn't break. This is not like thing with text. Mega Asmodi is trying to... Apparently Mega Asmodi understand what Snefui was saying. Well, that's good. Anyways, so hold on. It didn't trigger. So why is it resetting? That is crazy. Is a problem that it's not resetting? Local to scene. I feel like... Hold on. All right. This shall to pass. It's not triggering because these code triggered when it was getting... When this was being prepared. Right? And it's got reset because... What? Why? Oh man, I have a whole entire 2-episode of tutorial. I'm gonna have to do a little caveat on this. Wow, I'm actually releasing a bug. Okay, let's see. Enough panic. When I do this, it set the texture. When I play the main scene, this gets triggered. And then the process gets triggered for sure. Tile background, size changes, last text update. This is a text animation, so it doesn't matter. Changing the size shouldn't remove it. I mean, is it actually local to scene? That's the issue. I want to know what the variable is. Here. I'm going to check if the texture is even. Like, if the texture variable, which is set as an export, is even set properly. So, here I already set the variable, and I say start. And it's breaking on process because the process runs every time. And I'm going to check. It's already empty, but it could be just the children that's empty. So let's look at the texture. Background texture. Has a load path. It is the correct texture. So texture is correct. But the assignment that happens, so the way I made it so that during the tool time, it's tool time. Snefui says, when using export vars with setter, you have to check if the node is ready. And if not, then you wait the ready signal before running the code in the setter. Await ready. So we're waiting on the ready signal. Okay, cool. That's cool. But that's not going to fix this though, right? Or it would. Would it? Were you commenting on the error I had earlier with this? I think that's what you were talking about. Yeah. So no longer error. Oh, magic! You fixed it. Snefui fixed it. I see. Good to know. So on ready export, I was always talking about in my tutorial, but like, hey, the order between on ready versus export is all goofy. So apparently there is a signal for the node that the ready has been run already. So it's saying don't run the export setters until the ready has been triggered. This seems a little bit unintuitive. So like in my tutorial, oh man, I gotta make this post edit editorial. Oh, anyways, that's okay. That's okay. Well, thank you, Snefui. That is great. I love that. So it works. So that was the problem. I still want to understand. So what was happening is that this variable setting was triggering too early before the whole node is ready to run these codes. So it set the export variable first before doing the ready. So then all these things weren't triggering. Okay, so let's do a little experiment. Because yes, obviously it works, so that must be the truth. But I want to know... But why? Why didn't it break with the null value check? All right. The scene doesn't exist yet. So the background texture is null. Okay. I'm just going to have to come up with different ways to explain this. Reason I'm just like trying to debug this and show is because I understand it in my head, but for the video that I'm going to release, I want to be able to explain that in a way that people can clearly see. But yeah, export is running before the node is ready. Snefui, thank you. I love that. I hate that I have to write this every time. I almost feel like I need to come up with a pattern where I don't rely on the execution order. That is to say, like Chris said, update background on ready. Like, do it on ready instead of relying on setter. But then that makes the whole, like, this setter pattern, getter pattern useless. Like, you have to know to do it. I don't know. I have mixed feelings. Like, is there ever a case where you want to run the export before the ready is set up? Yes, there is. Because if you're instantiating the node without adding it to a tree, then you want the export setter to trigger even if it's not ready. Which means there would be a bug where... No, but then it will trigger after waiting, right? So for example, instead of doing this, in the code, if I say instantiate dialog box, set the value, and then I do add child, will it still work? Will it still work? Yeah. I mean, I get that, but I want to test this real quick. Sorry for a little digression. Not that I'm teaching anything anyways. I'm just making my games and we're hanging. But you know what I'm saying? Like, for example, if I say, oh, hey, let's make a button. Right? Button power.
Why that? I don't know. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. I'm going to hide this real quick. And then I say, wait, when you click this, I want to trigger. So, for example, var ready dialog box scene, packed scene, and then this is the preload of dialog box, for example. And I say, hey, I'm going to instantiate that, which means the object is already created. And then once I instantiate it, I say, I'm going to set, what was the variable? Set the background texture to be another preload. Dialog texture preload of this. And then I set that texture. So the setter triggers and it says await on ready. So it's not going to fully execute. And then I say add child box. So it gets edit now. Question here. If I do this, so I make it so that instantiate, set the texture, and then place it as a child so that the ready triggers, would this work or not? That's a quiz here. Is it going to work? Is it going to work? We'll see. Here it goes. Oh, non-existing function. Oh, whoops. I thought I was onto something. Here, just a second. Let me open this dialog box. Set background. Maybe I need to do background texture. Background texture. Wait, shouldn't it work? Did I spell this wrong? Set background texture. Yep. All right. Still broken. Set background texture in base dialog box doesn't exist. The setter just doesn't work. Weird. I thought by default setter gets set up. Anyways, okay. Direct assignment. It did work. It did work. Huh. So it did wait on ready, I think. Here, let's put a breakpoint here. Let's put the breakpoint at child. And then let's put the breakpoint on here, post ready. So I want to see when this gets executed. Oh, so immediately, because it's preloading the scene, I guess. What? Immediately it ran. Why? It doesn't have a presence. Oh, no, it ran for this. I gotta get rid of this for, let me get rid of this for better testing. Okay, so I press the button. All right, it's over here. Box has been instantiated. It's about to set the texture. So I do step over. The setter on ready hasn't been triggered yet. So it's waiting on the ready right now. And then as soon as the object has been, or the node has been added to the scene tree as a add child, and moved on to the next line. That's why it worked properly. Cool. That's awesome. Good to know. Very sweet lesson for me. Hopefully for everyone here as well. That's good to know. I really love it. Ads will run shortly for some viewers in 7 seconds. Just letting you know. I don't know. Is this against the policy if I share that the ads are about to automatically play? Maybe not. I don't know. Sorry. Where was I? Okay, so we checked that this works. Beautiful. Don't care anymore. I'm going to get rid of this connection. Disconnect. I'm going to re-add the dialog box. Hey, did somebody do something? Soul. Thanks, Soul, for a subscription. Woo! Yeah, Soul. Everybody say thanks, Soul. I don't know. You don't have to. I just want them to feel special, you know? You know what I mean? We all want to feel special one day. Here we go. Get rid of the button. We're going to get rid of the button and then add the dialog box. A dialog box, and then I'm going to say, this is my custom ultimate dialog box. I feel so proud of myself. The tutorial to be released, but I guess it's going to be delayed a little bit because I got to add that errata of like, actually, this doesn't work, guys. Ugh, how embarrassing. Wait, what the heck? What's going on? Output, background, texture, load, dialog box. Hey! Oh my gosh. Side effect. Side effect. The value is not being set. The value is not being set because onReady triggers when it enters a scene. It's already in the scene. So when I try to set the texture, it's like dialog box is like, no, you're not getting there because ready hasn't triggered. Ready hasn't triggered. All right, we got to think about this. Hold on, I got another notification. Did somebody else just... Hey, somebody tell me what the notification said. Because I'm guessing somebody joined just now. Alejandro Javier Ledesma Minio has subscribed. Thank you, Alejandro. Hopefully that's how you say it. Thank you for joining. Thank you for subbing. Woo, everybody, thank you. Nah, it seems like nobody's doing it. Let's see what's there. Ooh, a lot of text. When using export setter, update background on ready. Wow. Yeah, it is exports run before the node is ready. The setter is useful. Yeah. The await keyword can be used to create coroutines which wait until a signal is emitted before continuing execution. Yep, definitely. Snafui says you have to use an if statement. The value assigned before await. You know what? This is starting to make sense. On Twitter or X, I saw a meme of Godot developers being like, I can't do this every time I have a setter. And it was like if-then statement of like the await ready and all those things. And now it's starting to make sense. You have to use an if statement. If not node is ready, then await ready. Oh my gosh, it's so silly. So, what is it? Is ready a thing? If node is ready. This is... I have to think. I have to think on this. In my private time, I'm going to take a deep look at myself, in my soul, to see if this is truly the way. Okay, Chris says, move the value assigned before await. I think if we do that, Chris, we're going to have the same issue of it resetting, the texture resetting when I play the game. Because the whole point was that the value was null on start because it wasn't waiting for the ready. The export value was null. So yeah, I don't know. I mean, can you do it on ready export? Is that going to be the same thing? I don't know. What a struggle. But good thing is that we got to figure out all these different, what do you call, errors. Tile mode. Anyways, otherwise I'm still proud. It's there. Play. It's there. Yay, a little window. This size, is this too big? I know. I think it's perfect, actually. Let's make the transform size so that it's like, I want it slightly bigger. I'm at 150. Bam. Okay, I think that's good. So let's use dialog box here. I'm going to make a new canvas layer now because it's a layer on top of the game. It's going to have its own thing. And then I'm going to have a container, of course. And then it's going to be container, which I guess would be the UI container. I mean, layer itself is a UI, so I don't know. And then this should be full rect. And then dialog box should be anchored at... wait, can I not anchor it? I guess I gotta use a different one. It's full rect, so relevant to full rect, I want a type of container that... would it be a margin container? So I can like put it at something? I mean, it could just be center container because it's like I'm placing a dialog box position container. And then dialog box would be, what do you call? This would have to determine... where's my anchor rule? Where my anchor rule at? Wait a minute. This one, anchor presets. See, this one has an anchor preset. And then this is a container. And I came to main, and dialog box is a container. Or control here, as you can see. If you come here, the anchor rule is not an option. Oh, so you can't do relative stacking? So I have to be like out here, just like top bottom, center bottom, and then relative to center bottom, I have to be like, or custom anchor point, and then say grow direction, horizontally both, vertically top, left is minus 200 from the left. Oh, that's not a percentage though. Hold on, maybe I could do it with the minimum sizing. So if I say center bottom, should this be center? Doesn't matter. For now, let's say it's center bottom. All these caveats. All these caveats. Good to learn though. I'm not going to complain. I'm just going to learn it. Container is a base class and shouldn't be used. Read that yellow warning symbol. Oh, I see, I see. You're saying it should be used, control should be used here? Is that what you're saying? Instead of container? I'll wait on you, Snefui. Thanks for teaching me so much. I love this. See, the UI stuff, I'm not so familiar with it. I'm learning this as I go. Anyways, so let's see if there's a sizing stuff. I can still do sizing, yeah. I can still size it. Let's say it's 150 by 500. And then I can still go center bottom. But still then, it seems like it's just changing to transform based on the current status.
Like for example, right now is center bottom. But if I change the window size, is it going to automatically correct it? Let's see. Window size. Let's say I change this to like width of 1920. Like on this, it doesn't look like it's centered. If I play, is it going to follow the anchor rule? Oh, it does. Okay, so it just doesn't show up here. So I can't trust this. All right, I'm still going to do some growth rule, though. 1920 divided by 2. And then I'm going to do a little bit of custom. So anchor point 0.5 is good. I think positioning from bottom, I need to put it up a little bit. Let's say 0.9. I wish the anchor point, the anchor sizing is also percentage instead of pixel. Alejandro, main canvas layer control dialog box. I see. Control dialog box. All right, this brings up the question. I have to read this because I really want to understand design goal of how these are supposed to represent each other in the stack, in the scene tree. Base class for the all GUI controls, yes. Adapts its position and size based on its parent control. So the control itself is supposed to be relative positioning tool, according to this description. Which is puzzling to me, because container being, right? Container being the inheritance of the control, and then it says, maybe this needs to be updated. It says the control is meant to be position and size based on parental control. And I feel like the whole anchor thing is this, right? Is that just like not written well? Is that all that is? I would use panel container, then change the style box to be style box texture. Oh, it has built-in 9-patch functionality. Whoopsies. It's okay. I would use a panel container, then change the style box to be style box texture. Yeah, you know what? Life comes and goes fast. Let's see, style box texture. This is what I get for not searching before doing. But you know, that is the whole point. So where is the style box texture though? Let's see. Godot style box texture. Godot style box texture. Style box texture. Oh, it does exist. It's under Object Ref Counted Resources Style Box. Texture-based 9-patch style box. I mean, that's what it says. Style box is not part of these. It's just a ref counted thing, so you can just create it. I suppose then, let me try to open the document here. Style box. Stylebox is a resource, I think. Is an abstract-based class for drawing stylized boxes for UI element. It is used for panels, buttons, line edit backgrounds. Okay. I see. So you have to create a panel node. Test with a new scene base. I would use a panel container, then I read that on panel node. Test with a new scene base class in panel container. Okay, let's try that. Test panel. We will use panel. I mean, I use panel container Oh, it's different from panel. Panel container is different. Keeps this child control within the area of style box. I see. And then we have the test panel. And then on panel node, style box to style box texture. Hold on. Still don't quite understand what this is. Style box is an abstract, yeah, so you have to implement it. So if I want to use it on panel, tree background, etc., and also for testing a transparency mask. Theme overrides. Ah, I see. And then you can have new style box texture. And then the texture can be one of these. And then I'm guessing you can do sub-regioning. So for example, this one would be 32 by 32 pixel, or not X. Wait a minute, that's not it. Oh, I messed it up. Hold on, I'll figure it out. Just a second. Content margin, recent modulate, axis stretch. Should be tile, I think. In its properties, style box texture, 9-patch style. I'm guessing there's something that says 9-patch style. Change the 9-patch properties in the properties. In the properties. Oh, properties? Oh, you mean like... I got it? What? Where? Oh my gosh. Do I have a delay on? I'm getting there. 9. Okay, the property. Content modulate sub-region. I was gonna... Okay, so these are the properties, right? These are the properties. I'm looking for something 9-patch. No. Of the style box. Yeah, this is a style box. I don't think you can just... Okay. Patch. 9. No. Texture margin, expand margin, axis stretch. Axis was correct. Axis stretch. Okay, so I was right when I say maybe this is tile. Tile fit? What's a tile fit? Hold on. Open documentation. Okay, I'm relying too much on you guys, so there's a delay. I need to get this moving. So I'll go back and forth. I'll also read a document. So let's see. Axis stretch mode controls how the style box texture will be stretched or tiled horizontally. Okay. Stretch mode. Tile repeats the style box texture to match the style box sizing according to the 9-patch system. Tile fit is style box sizing according to the 9-patch system. Unlike mode tile, the texture may be slightly stretched to make the 9-patch texture tile seamlessly. Oh, I see. Having a pixel gap versus non-pixel gap. Okay, that's fine. So I do a tile. And then it seems like it's just like tiling like this. And the margins needs to be corrected. Because texture margin. I want to know what that actually means when they say texture margin. Texture margin left. Increase the left margin of the 3x3 texture box. A higher value means more of the source texture is considered to be part of the left border. Oh,
I see. Wait, what, was it 32 by 32? I don't remember. What was the original texture size? 96. Yeah, it is 32 by 32. So top portion, right portion, bottom portion. It's like decide. So you're deciding its grid like this. It's like saying, hey, from the original texture, the left column is how many pixel away. Row is how many pixel down. Right column is how many pixel away. Bottom column is how many pixel up. Okay, cool. Well, that's a lot easier than implementing it by hand, like how I did. Errata. I'll probably add this bit into the tutorial before somebody yells at me in the tutorial. You know what? I'm going to eat it. I never said I knew exactly how to do everything. So I look forward to hearing about that from the comments. Yes, that's correct. Thank you, Alejandro. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, Snafui. Thank you, Chris. Thank you, Alejandro. We got Godot experts here leading the way for me. I love that. Thank you. So it's correct. Cool. So we can do that. And then benefit here, I think you can just change all this. And sizing rules and everything. Perfect. Okay. Good to know for future reference. But I already have this right now, so I'm going to just use this for now. I'll figure out how to implement it and then share it with the world. In any case, we got this, a dialog box. And then next thing I wanted to do is that I have a map node with the texture, which I will add. Location, little farm. Oh, I also did that, didn't I? I have to go. Oh, wait, ready. Oh, please. Please. We need a better way. Our life can be better than this. Our lives can be better than this. This can't be it. Oh, whoops. My friend. YouTube. Distracted. Was asking where I was streaming on YouTube. Oh, I was going to go in 30 minutes, so I still have 30 minutes. I'm going to get this working. Not working, but hang out till then. And yeah. Ads will start in 48 seconds. I'm going to just skip this ad. I'm skipping for you so that your ad blocker doesn't have to work hard. I'm giving your ad blocker a little breathing room, you know. Anyways, so we got the map node, we got the farm. Yay, a little cute farm. And then what I want to do here, oh my goodness, life has been rough. When we click the sprite button, I want to start a dialogue. So for example, let's make a little dialogue. Start farming, farm. And then I'll make some choice. Yes. No. Then let's make this a map location farm beginning. And I could even do all this here. Let's make another node. Yes, and then another node that says no. You are a farmer. Okay. Save this. Cool. So we have a dialogue. And then I'm going to add my dialogue reader. Oh, that's a root. And on the main script, or why is a button pressed here? Just leave the ad, no problem. Thank you, Antique. Okay, on the sprite pressed dialog plugin, I'm going to make it so that you can export the dialog reader. Maybe I don't. Maybe I make it so that it... When you press the button, start dialog. Okay. I'm going to make it so that on the node, I can assign the dialog file that I want to trigger. Export var dialog. And then it's not going to have any preload. So that way I can come over here and do farm beginning. Right? So I assign the farm here. Farm node, let's say, for example. And then over here, for the implementation of the generic node, I'm going to take this and bubble it up. Oh, should I bubble it up? That's unnecessary amount of work, I feel like. So dialog is already given. Should I pass the dialog reader and then let the node handle the dialog? Or should I bubble up and give a signal saying, run this dialog? I think I'm going to do a signal approach. Say, map node pressed. And then it's going to give a dialog value. And then on press, I'm going to emit this dialog value. Dialog JSON, for example. And then on the farm node, I'm going to make it so that on the main game, I handle it. And dialog is a JSON file that's been given. And on ready, I don't need this anymore. I'm going to assign the dialog reader. Easy dialog. And then I'm going to run that start dialog. And then for now, just empty state, and then it's going to by default start from the start. Hello, everyone in the chat. Wait, hold on. Just sorry, have to eat dinner. Be back in a bit. Okay, Snefui, I might be gone by the time you come back. Because I do plan on leaving in 26 minutes. 26 minutes. Dean Salmon. Hello, everyone in the chat. And me. Look, I'm in the chat technically. So I'm going to accept that as hello to me as well. So, hi. Yeah. The ABD Antique over here being a chat mod. Love that. Thank you. I appreciate your help. All right. Where was I? Okay, start dialogue. So when this dialogue reader gets started, it has a bunch of signals, as I've explained before. When it generates a dialogue, it comes over here. When the dialogue is generated, I'm going to say response is actually dialogue response. Whoops, is it running? I didn't know it was running already. It's going to say if it has text, if text is not null and is not empty. Whoops. I'm going to make it so that dialog reader or dialog box, which I thought I added. Oh, it is here. Okay, cool. Dialog box here. So I'm going to go over here on the main script. On ready var dialog box is dialog box. Bam as dialog box. And I'm going to say clear box. Or I don't have to do that actually. Text or set text response text. All right, no choices yet. I'm not processing any choices yet, but this by default, as soon as I click, it it should trigger. Unless there's a bug, which is very likely. Click. Bug. It says resource path null. Same thing probably. Cannot find the JSON file because it's like, hey, you assigned it. Oh, it's empty. That's why. Why was this empty? Weird. Okay. Hold on. Did I just not save? Weird. Oh, look. Farming. Okay, I want this a little bit faster. So I'm going to set the text speed here for the dialog box to be 20 letters per second. Okay, that's still too slow. Wait, did I not save? Save. Boop. Oh, a little bit faster. Farming. Kind of want 30, I think. 30 sounds better. We got farming, farm. Cool. And then I'm going to add a choice real quick. Now, let's think about this. How do I want my choices to display? Another dialog box? Or should I handle this within the dialog box? Stylistically, I'm looking right here. Obviously, I feel like I need more margin there. So I'm going to add more margin. This needs to go away. Let me add more margin to my text so it looks prettier. We got margin container, theme override. I'm going to do about like 10 pixel. 10 pixels seems better than 5 pixel. Here we are. Click. Farm. Okay, this looks like an actual game now. And there's a siren outside. Let's see. Children container get their position and size determined only by their parent. Don't know what that means. I'm going to close that out real quick because I don't care right now. And then let's do I do the choices now? Like I got one thing done. I got the graphic button. I got the dialogue to play. I'm getting lazy. I shouldn't. Do I want highlighted text where I can click one or the other? I think that might be okay. Let me do a button. Should I do a button? Oh, I'm feeling really lazy. I mean, we're coming pretty close to my promised time of ending, I think. I think this was great. You know what? I think I'm going to call it. I'm going to call it a day. I learned a lot. We had a lot of debugging. We had a great conversation in the beginning. I shared my game idea. And most importantly, I shared my intention of starting a membership, which I probably will just start after the stream is over. So yeah, thanks for joining. Thanks for watching. Hopefully I will have come up with better thumbnail than my face talking to the mic. Please continue to join me as I stream on and on. I'll be back with 3 more tutorial videos where I struggle through. Obviously, today I realized Snafui, Chris, and Alejandro, and everybody who knows Godot already said, hey, you don't need to do all these hard work. You can figure this out. Okay, well, a little bit embarrassing. But it's okay. I'm just still going to release it because I got thick face. People can yell at me saying that that's not how you should do it. But it's okay. We're all learning. And I'll always come back with the errata saying, hey, I could have done this better. This is how you do it. This is what I learned. Because this is about the community. So thank you for watching, and I will see you guys later. Bye. If I know how to stop the stream. Here we are. Stream.